you, everyone. Thank you all for joining. B Royalty, thank you for becoming a member. And Gary Hayden, thank you for becoming a member. How y'all doing out there? We good? Y'all can hear me, right? We good? What we looking like? My mic is on. Yeah, my mic is on. Y'all can hear me, right? We good? OCO. All right, cool. Cool. Excellent. Choctaw Montan in the building. Blue Dreamer in the building. Ice Hawk in the building. Jessica in the building. Brown and Roberts in the building. What's going on, y'all? Kimberly Wilson, thank you for becoming a member. I see you. Austin, Texas in the building. Oklahoma in the building. Las Vegas in the building. Greer, South Carolina in the building. Who that? Chicago in the building. Boston in the building. Dallas, Texas in the building. St. Louis in the building. Oseo Tamari. Ohio in the building. Dallas, Texas in the building. Bama in the building. Shout out to Alabama. Detroit in the building. California in the building. Memphis Teen in the building. Atlanta, GA in the building. Milwaukee in the building. Waco, Texas in the building. Hold up. All right, I'm getting notifications at the same time. And what's crazy is I don't even see my notifications that I went live. Amani in the building. What's up, Amani? Big up.
It's up.
San Antonio in the building. Southside Queens in the building. Buffalo, New York in the building. Jacksonville, Florida in the building. Hey, Tampa in the house. What up, Tampa? Long Island in the house. Louisiana in the house. Pennsylvania in the house. Thompson, GA in the house. Who that right there? Lisa Hines, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Joshua Crump been a member for 7 months. It's up. What up, Joshua? Southside, Houston, Texas in the building. H-Time. Charlotte, North Carolina. Richmond, VA. Oakland in the building. What up, Turtle Island Chief? Tennessee in the building. Fort Lauderdale in the building. South Carolina in the house. Bay Area. What up, Bay Area? California in the building. Orlando, Florida. Kansas City, Missouri. Rochester, New York. Hold up. Wait a minute. My chat. All right, there you go. This thing tripping. Come on, man. Brooklyn checking in. Durham, North Carolina. Brooklyn. Look, a lot of Brooklyn in the house. I see you. Was Super Sunday today? Super Sunday? What you mean? The football season over with. You talking about the tickets? Harlem in the building. Tallahassee, Florida in the building. Arizona in the building. Miami Gardens in the building. Jay Wright, thank you for becoming a member. It's up, Turtle Island Chief. I see you. I appreciate that too, brother. The Love Jones Show, Brooklyn in the what up? BK in the building. Shout out to Miss Love Jones, and y'all go subscribe to her channel too.
It's up.
Always showing love. Blue Dreamer always showing love, coming through with the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you, sis. Wait a minute, where we at? Hold up. Okay, Jersey City, Syracuse, New York, New Jersey, and McKinney, Texas. Who that? Longburn, North Carolina. I see you, Spiritual. What up? Yeah, what's going on, Lil John? How they treating you? How they treating you on the tube? Allsdale, Georgia. Savage Sunday Bay Area. Look at Mac team. Miami, Florida. Compton. Spencer, Oklahoma. McKinney, Texas. Rochester, New York. Love Dorsey. You done made me shout out a person, didn't you? That's all good. Hey, if you want me to shout them out for some birthdays, I don't, you know what I'm saying? You got to put them in there. Dane, shout out my, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can say, oh, you dealing with trolls? Yeah, you got to get used to it. That's, YouTube is troll city sometimes, man. But that's what you got moderators for. Don't forget to make me a moderator over there too, sis. So when I pop up, you know, we can start knocking them down real quick. Philadelphia, PA, Boston, Waynesboro, North Carolina, Florence, South Carolina. What up, Petey? Hey, that's family right there. What up? Dropping a bomb for y'all. Hey, let me switch screens real quick. Said Fred, thank you, brother. Trenton, New Jersey.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
His brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of two continents? Not two countries, two continents. That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay, where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals, because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire.
They're the copper color race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. He is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo! He goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Set it on fire.
Turn it up. Look, 100 years after 100 years, they lied to us about this and that. Told us all we from Africa. I made fiction characters turn into facts. Heard you tell me then it was not. No goddamn well that trick was capped. My wife and I wrote a book about it. It's a book with knowledge, evidence, and fact. And my other book got them haters shook, cause it's helping my people take a closer look at their backgrounds in the background, showing my people where they supposed to look. Showing my people where they get it from, where they hit it from, all sorts of angles. When it comes to this research, you must please first, don't trust strangers. Find out all of your own is what I highly recommend and suggest. And if you looking for answers and content about me, I highly recommend you the best. Which is my website at the link you see, just
across the screen, don't let it miss you. I make it simple, I double down on that black and white. It's too official.
Okay, hold up. Okay, there we go. All right, so we good, right? Y'all can hear me, we good? You finally caught alive? I'm glad you can make it. I'm thankful that you're here. Hold on, I wanted to switch my music to my, I wonder why that didn't pop up right here. I had a different, it's all good. Hold on, let me check something real quick, y'all. Real quick. Let me see if I can. I wanted to go back to my original real quick. Is it gonna do it? Let me hear. I hope it went to my original. You know, my Resident Evil save room music right there. Let me see. I think it's only fitting. I go back to the original. Let me hear it on my side real quick. Yeah, it did. All right. All right, so hold up. Let me fix that. All right, hold on. One thing I gotta fix. All right, there you go. All right. So, and I can hear myself clear. All right, the levels are not peaking. We good to go. Oh, it's one thing I got to do. One more thing. Make sure that's on the loop. All right, there we go. Okay. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back to like years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. With this, when you hear this one, it's important what we about to go through as far as what we about to get into. The volume is fine. Excellent. The first thing I wanted to get into is a couple of things that YouTube, I noticed that didn't get it, you know, they didn't show everybody some things that I pointed out before. I'm going to get into that that I feel as though is very important. It's a couple of things that I was tweeting about earlier today, and it was on my mind. It was on my mind because I was noticing a lot of people getting involved into situations where, you know, they thought it was all good. They were getting money. And then they realized they actually put themselves in a trap. They signing contracts and they can't get out of it. And, but that goes for a lot of different people. You know, that goes for a lot of different people who are working. Unfortunately, that is going through that situation where you thought that was the good job. As an example, you thought that was a good job, you know, good paying job. You got there and things ain't, you know, working out the way you wanted it to work out. Shout out to Ace. I appreciate you, Ace. And Tasha, Tasha Wright, thank you for becoming a member. And you wanted to make some changes, and some cases they tell you already have another job lined up before you quit that one. But then they don't tell you how difficult that could be for certain people, you know, trying to make a transition. And what if, and is that next one a better one than the last one? On top of, some people may be comfortable with where they're where they're at right now financially, or where they're at in general in life. And I'm not knocking them. This is not a knock to none of that. Like, if you feel like you good, fine. But a lot of people will turn around and complain about certain things that they're going through. Like those of you that know, that came up and tried to state some cases when it comes to reparations. A lot of them are in very good position right now, as far as their life. But they're not, for example, they're still not comfortable where they're at. They feel as though they should be higher, in which all people should feel like they should be higher up. Some people may feel as though it's certain things that's holding them back due to the environment, or it could be the education that they received, or it could be the position that the government put our people in, or put the majority of people in. You'll hear that. It's thrown off on other things, but not necessarily the individual. And this is what I want to point this out. I just want you guys to know that some accountability got to fall back on the person. It got to fall back on the individual. And here's why. This is not a beat up session. I just want you to understand the reason why I will come back on you is because of how far you want to take your life. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do you see yourself still working for a job that you don't want to work for, or a job that you really don't care for? You're just there for a check. Do you see yourself doing that 5 to 10 years from now? Or do you see yourself actually in a higher position than what you're in right now? Even if you are in a high position right now, do you see yourself higher than that? And then on top of that, 5 to 10 years from now, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Ronald Jackson, thank you for becoming a member. I feel as though these are important things that anybody should be asking themselves. And then I can tell you where that, where the holdup is, where the drawback is. Where did that stem from? Why is that not out in the open for our people to conversate about amongst themselves? Why is that not being promoted? Because of certain situations that you're already in. Like when you come out of college, you're automatically in debt. But they tell you to go to college to get a better education or a higher education so you could get whatever sort of job in that particular field that you picked. In most cases, people don't get the job that they were shooting for. They get the job that they got to settle for coming out of college. And then when you come out of college or university, whatever it may be, you got to pay off the debt. Now, hear me out on this one, y'all. When you were born, they tell you that you're born in debt already, but debt owed to who? What? You were just born into this world. You owe somebody other than your mother and your father and the creator something? So other than your mother and your father and the creator, you owe somebody else something for getting here? But why is this a revolving cycle? Why does this happen? Why is it always falling back on the individual as if they did something wrong? As soon as they got into this world, you're automatically in debt with somebody unforeseen. Never met them, you never signed anything, you didn't have an agreement, but then people turn around and do create agreements. I'm going to get to that. I'm lining it all up, okay? They make agreements when they're of age to make agreements without their parents, or sometimes their guardians and parents could want them to sign an agreement. Whatever the case may be, it could be a clothing line deal. It could be, or you're modeling some shoes and you're underage. You'll never know. That does happen. But I want to just focus on you as the individual signing contracts. That is an application for employment, so that's including everybody. Those that want to say that they're working a 9 to 5 per se. That's everybody, not just CBA people or work for hire. It's everybody. You're signing a contract. You're signing a contract. Everybody is. Why is that? Well, a lot of other people will state that they will have to do certain things like that as far as working is concerned in order to bring themselves up. But how long? Once again, it goes back to that 5 to 10 year plan. How long are you willing to do that? Because the majority of the time we see a lot of people just go with the flow and that end up, you know, becoming a career, and regardless if they liked it or not, they just settle. Why are people settling for things that they don't want? Was this done by design? Was this done because of a person's mentality on how they looked at life? Why would you raise up the white flag? Like, you think all doors are closed on you? What happened? Well, I'm not gonna be able to, you know, turn what I know into my own business, because then I gotta worry about dishing out more money in order for me to create a business and upkeep it. Yeah, but you're not gonna know something until you try. You're not gonna learn something until you try. Like, a lot of the people that are up, that are millionaires, had made multiple mistakes or took multiple losses, but they didn't look at it as a loss. They looked at it as a lesson. Some people are not, okay, some people are afraid to step outside of the box that this society puts you in. Like, you think that the ticket out of where you're at is to go get that job that's a good paying job, or to go to that college or university to earn that degree so you could possibly go get that job. But it doesn't necessarily work out for everybody the way everybody would think it would work out based off of what society says it will be. And the reason why I'm stating that is to go back to, in a historical sense, with all of this, I'm going to put this all together into how they make the picture of society laid out already. Like, you get older, you think that you got to go to a college or university, earn a degree, get that good paying job. It doesn't work out. Now you fall in for whatever it is, you settling for it rather, whatever it is that's correlating probably with your degree. Most of the time it's not. You're just settling. You got to pay bills. You got to pay off this debt. That's entrapment. And realistically, that's enslavement. Realistically, that's enslavement. And notice how it's a lot of our people that are settling right now to continuously be enslaved, and they're not happy. Is it fair to them? No. No. Is that a hard pill to swallow? Absolutely. Absolutely. But remember, they tell you to swallow your pride. Swallow your pride. I wonder why they want you to swallow your pride as if it's a pill or some water. I wonder why. Because if you don't have pride, how are you going to bring yourself up individually? Listen, remember when I say it's a lot of things that they taught us? They taught to us in reverse. And the reverse matters, so we could do the total opposite. That's one. Why would you swallow your pride when you need every bit of your pride to raise yourself higher? Within your realm, on a higher plane than what other people may think you're going to keep yourself. A lot of people would do things in their life based off of what other people may feel as good to them or for them. Like they're living for other people instead of themselves. What makes you feel good? Not what makes everybody else feel good. What makes you happy? And then you turn around and settle for less when you know you're worth more. What is that cycle? What am I getting at, Dane? What are you getting at, Dane? Slave mentality. Entrapping yourself. Enslavement. When you keeping that slave mentality going, this is the reason why slavery will be an ongoing process, because of the way you think. Not because of your skin complexion. It's all going to go back towards your mindset. How do you think? Or what are your thoughts? about your present, your past, and your future. What do you think about that now? Say, for example, you went through the college and you got your degree, you're in debt, you're still paying it off, you got a halfway decent job. How do you get yourself out of that predicament when you don't see no way out? But then they turn around and tell you to swallow your pride. Well, the first thing you gotta have is pride in yourself. Then they turn around and tell you gotta believe in somebody else. And even that individual or whatever it is, that being could be unforeseen. When you actually get up and look in the mirror every day at yourself, why don't you believe in something that you can see, which is you? And have pride and confidence in yourself that you will actually believe in yourself to turn your life around the way you want it to go. But a lot of people are stuck on that slave mentality. And then they notice there's limits to that slave mentality. And then it seems like you're capped at a certain level and you can't go any higher. And then you, well, how did that person get up that high and I'm better than that person? There's your answer. That person had confidence, pride, ambition, motivation in themselves more than you. They didn't give up when everything seemed like, it was closing in on them. They didn't give up. They kept going. And remember when they tell you that you got to make sacrifices in your life? I'm not referring to sacrifice individuals in order for you to come up. We ain't talking about the skull and bones joining. No, I'm talking about making sacrifices in your life. Meaning you might have to give up some people. And what I mean by that is, hold on, I'm going to explain it, is leave them alone. You're going to have to cut some people off that's in your life. Disassociate them, with you. Disassociate them with you. You gotta leave them alone because they're distracting you to your main goal. Your main goal is to elevate you. That don't mean elevate yourself and hurry up and sign up for the first contract that comes at your feet. Giving your life away to somebody else again. That don't mean to elevate yourself to become a whole nother slave on a whole nother level. That doesn't mean that. This is the reason why y'all be boasting up these celebrities, because you think they got everything in life when they really don't, and they suffering more than you are. And they got more money than you. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you value your life within you. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you value your life within you. How much do you value your life? And I'm talking like this because it is a lot. It's a lot of our people and other people. A lot of people in general that have that slave mentality. That have that slave mentality. And this is what I want to break.
Relax and take notes.
I want to break that cycle because I think the best way for you to learn how to break that cycle is where to be cognizant of where that stems from. How it derived to become a reality, how it formed into reality. Then I think it would be better to, I'm probably going to have to explain this multiple times, but I'm going to try, this is another attempt to try to break it down to show you that you're capable. If I'm capable, you're capable. There's really no difference between you and I unless it's dealing with our mentalities. It's really not. This is how you break the cycle of enslavement. Previously, in multiple videos of mine, live streams as well, I told you that slavery was never abolished. It wasn't. It was just upgraded. And it transitioned into what it is today, which is employment. Now, they're not saying enslavement, they're saying employment. Do you know that there's people out there right now that would say that I'm wrong? Dane, that's not what slavery was about. And they don't even know when they answer, when they say stuff like that, that's spoken like a true person that's enslaved right now. Still. Slavery was never abolished. If slavery was big business then, slavery is big business now. The biggest money maker, they're not going to get rid of. They're going to constantly update it. So whoever was benefiting then can benefit even more now, generation after generation. Yes, they got paid little to nothing. Yes, they did. It's always about that. It's always about making people work. For example, before jail came, okay, hold on. Jail's here, right? Do they let them people, the inmates, sit up there in jail all day long, or do they make them go out and work? Think about that. I'm talking about any industry, and that's a private industry, any industry. In order for them to excel, they got to enlist some or enroll some workers, slavers, laborers, servants. It doesn't have it. This is what you need to get into your mindset. Now, does that mean that everybody is slaves? Yes, it does. I mean, because we're doing the exact same things as if we were back then, except for we getting paid a little bit more, just a little bit for real, compared to how much these people at the top are getting off of our labor. Let's be real. Let's be real. You can only imagine how they are being taxed. You can only imagine. I'm sure it ain't no more. I'm sure it's way less than what we doing, how we getting taxed on top of being, enrolled into a job or an assignment as a laborer. And we got to pay taxes within that same money we just worked for. We got to pay taxes after that. Who? Name one. Name one billionaire that decided to show us their taxes and say, look, this is how hard we getting. You think they're getting taxed hard? You got another thing coming. They already know the loopholes of where they ain't had to pay no taxes. As an individual, they make individual corporations pay a corporate tax. That's what they doing. So they won't ever have to come out of their pocket. The people that they work for pays their taxes. Excuse me, let me say it correctly. The people that they hired pays their taxes. So the people that work for them pays their taxes. That's what I want to say. I want to say it correctly. That's what happens. Those taxes that those taxes that you paying right now go right back to the employer. You think it go to the IRS. It goes right back to your employer. Then your employer cuts a small check to the IRS at the end of the year, every year. Think about that. If a job telling you that they are providing specialized benefits, like if they're providing life insurance or medical insurance, stuff like that, at a particular discount. You know how they set it up, right? They pay a certain amount for that, while you paying a large amount for that. They making you pay for it initially, but you just don't know. You think it's actually going to that particular insurance company when it's going right back to the employer. Especially if it's a corporation. I'm not talking about them LLCs. LLCs can't do that. Corporations could do that, where there's no liability on the corporation. None. They're putting it right back on you. Some of them force you to say, look, you got to pay Medicaid, it don't matter what type of insurance you got. Some of them jobs get over and make you pay for it anyway just because you work there. I've seen that happen before. That happened to me personally. One time I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield and I'm paying for Kaiser at another job. I'm like, I already got Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Well, it doesn't matter. It's automatic. It's going to come out your check. I remember that. I remember that. It's not fair, but it's the truth. People are still enslaved right now. And I want to show you. Actually, a lot of these, not only today, it's going to be a lot of videos I'm going to have to show you all to break it all the way down. So I'm not going to say this particular video right here or this particular live stream is going to be the end all be all. But I do want to show you a lot of sides to that. One of the sides is the stories that they gave you concerning slavery. They had to make up a lie in order to continue a lie, in order to be controlling all of the people with their initial lie. So they tell a lie to tell another lie to tell another lie to keep the cycle going. Because they know you're not going to find out. You're so entrapped, enslaved mentally, you're not going to be willing to look outside of the box. They're banking on that. To go actually check behind these people that created the stuff. Yes, we know that slavery existed, but did it exist the way that we were told? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It will be impossible for that to happen. And you know, the people that turn their nose up when I say that still have that slave mentality. Not trying to shake away from their old ways. And this is the reason why you still at a standstill when it comes to uplifting yourself. And that's not a knock to you, brother, sister. That's just letting you know the reason why you still stationary. You're sitting dormant. Because your mentality didn't change yet. That's the key. They're enslaving you mentally. The chains and shackles was on your brain. They're enslaving you mentally. The chains and shackles was on your brain. They didn't teach this to the adults that were already here when they got here. I'm talking about the foreigners. They didn't teach it to the adults. They had to teach it to the children to affect the next generations to come. That's why it took them so long to get this done. This doesn't happen overnight. Even a millionaire can't become a millionaire overnight. They work towards that goal. Going back to the 5-10-year plan that I was just referring to. They had a 5-10-year plan, didn't they? They said to themselves, we know this is going to take a while. Well, let's try to implement it around this date. And hopefully everything will fall in place so our next generations to come won't ever have to suffer. Because keep in mind, the census, the 1790 census said they were free whites when they got here. This can only mean that they were enslaved also, whether it be here or wherever else they came from. And when I showed you and proved to you that those foreigners were the majority of the slaves, here's another thing that you can think about. Why do you think our people, the ones that they want to call the majority of the slaves here in America, why haven't we received reparations? Because those white folks that know better pop up and say, wait a minute, what about us? If they could get it, we could get it. But those white folks or foreigners, whatever you want to choose, is not just white folks now. If they sit up there and said, no, we got to get it too, because they want every single benefit that you think that you should receive. They know you the chosen people. But what we should be fighting for is land that was stolen from us given to these foreigners. Nobody bringing that conversation up. What you want to call that? You can't call that reparations. That's not called reparations. See how the argument, this is the reason why they continuously promoting reparations arguments amongst our community, because they know for a fact that that's a limited way of thinking based off of our real authentic history. Once again, they got us sitting dormant, wishing and hoping and praying that it's about to happen, when year after year after year, it don't ever move forward to happen. It's just all talk. And that collar, I told y'all he was, I called it. The governor, Gavin Newsom in California, came out and told you he ain't gonna do it. That's on video. That's not by word of mouth. That's on video. He came out and said it. No. And here they go, about to pass the last statement from that California Reparations Task Force to send it up to them legislators, and they gonna turn it down. And if they don't, we know that's political, because it got to go right back to Gavin Newsom for him to sign off on it, prolonging it until it gets shut down again. Every single year we go through this, but they know that we are owed more than just I know that we are owed more than just reparations. The conversation needs to be about those land allotments happening. Where did they get these lands from? Number one, if they never owned it. Number two, never resided there. Number three, they just got here. Who died and crowned you the owner of my territory? All of y'all was foreigners, squatting on territory that you didn't own. Now that's by record as well. And then we could turn around and use that little laws of the lands against them, where the Pope of that time period was saying, look, we about to confiscate these indigenous people's lands in the name of God. I'm just summing it up because that's basically what they did. We don't got to hand them no paperwork. We just going to come take it. But it wasn't a physical, well, it was some physical fighting, but the majority of the fighting had to do with the mental. They had to enslave you mentally in order for that to work. So what did they hand to you? Y'all should know. When these foreigners came over here and when they noticed that the walls wasn't working, they was getting their ass kicked. The next go rounds, the next waves of these foreigners coming over here all brought the Bible in their hand. All of them. Told you to get rid of your spirituality. Let me introduce you to religion. This religion. If you practice any bit of your spirituality, we're going to kill you. We're going to get away with it because we done already got rid of your chiefs, whether male or female. This is by record, by the way. Anybody that say, dang, you lying, I could prove it. To anybody. Have already, and I will be able to prove it again. They straight up told you no to your spirituality. And said, no, this religion right here. Shh. Pushed up the Christian book and said, learn it. Look, some of y'all weren't doing too well at that time. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you positions of pastor, minister, in order to administer this foreign gospel to those that look like you. This is what's happening. This is what has happened. Dana, I'm dropping a bomb for you, Dana. I appreciate that, sister. Always showing love. Thank you for being generous. I want to prevent all of that from happening again because they like to do it. Remember when they say history repeat itself? It does if you allow it. Meaning if you're not cognizant of what happened in the past, it's bound to repeat because they know it worked. And they're only going to utilize the things that worked back then for their benefit. So they created these stories and went along with it. And so did you. You went along with it too. Why? Because they taught you these stories in school. So it seemed like it was real life to you when everybody was repeating it throughout school, throughout your colleges and universities. And then when you come out, everybody regurgitating that same information in front of you online, at the barbershop, at the salon, all the way down to the laundromats and the car dealerships, even in the liquor stores. And then they holler that we've been enslaved for 400 years. And can't never tell you when that 400-year marker started. But that 400-year marker started in the Bible, not in real life. Because you can't pinpoint the date of when it happened here. And this is some crazy stuff that people are regurgitating and they're not really looking into it. For example, let me pull up the first example real quick. What they be giving us. Now I know this is one of the stories. This is one of the videos that YouTube didn't allow people to see. I know that for a fact. But I'm gonna show it to you. Hold up. Right here. Make sure it's turned up. So here we go. Let's start off with this one. And when I start off with this one, this is dealing with the slave trade. On top of this was the main story that they were giving us, saying when we first got here. And look how they contradict themselves each and every, and this is just one bit. I destroyed the 1619 story. Destroyed it. Debunked every single thing. This right here is just I'm talking about not even a little piece. This is a crumb compared to what I have done to debunk this. And that's not fair because people are running with this as if this actually happened. And they gave you conceptual arts for you to run away with it in your imagination. Holding these foreigners up sky high. Limiting yourself. You think that you ain't supposed to be higher than them. Look at that domino effect. And see how they make it seem like they got all these high positions and we can't never be there because they won't let us in. But here's the thing. What if you create your own? And they don't gotta let us in. F what they got going on here. We could create our own. Every single thing right now, we could create our own. I don't care what it is, you name it. You name it. Since we are the masters of the arts and the entertainment, every single thing dealing with arts and entertainment, we can build and own. We shouldn't have to be signing these contracts with these employers, aka slave masters. That's what's going on. We shouldn't have to do business with them. Keep in mind, if we don't do business with them, what you think is going to happen to them? Crash and burn. Let's go. I really want you guys to take a look at this, and this is another example, yet again, of how I'm explaining to you all that a lot of these, what they're really called as conceptual art, based on conceptualism. Of course, we went into this before, but this is another form of it. And I also not only want to point this conceptual art out, but how it has been changed over time in order to fit the narrative of what you may be familiar with. I want you to take a very close look at what I'm about to show you, okay? So I hope you can see my mouse. I hope that comes out. But look at this picture. In this picture, we have two boats. Now we're going to go over this, okay? I really want you to focus on the details of this image. And I'm going to go into when this was created and everything like that. I probably will even show it to you. I'm probably going to have to chop this up because I'm doing this live, so I'm going to have to chop this up to show you. But the detail, there's a white guy that has his hands behind him, okay? There's a guy that's pointing at the children, and it looks more so like women here too, but it could have been, I mean, this could be a boy, but basically they're fully clothed, okay? And I hope you can hear me. I'm not up on the mic all the way, but and this guy looks like he's telling him, hey, they could be used for labor, okay? You know, they could be contracted for servitude. They're young, they're able-bodied, and basically he's trying to sales pitch what he can do. Let me explain the picture. These children were captured from the Dutch man-of-war ship, in which I went into this before. This was supposed to be depicting the time period of Jamestown in 1619 in Virginia. Now, these were supposed to be the people that were captured, the 20 and odd Negroes that were captured from the Dutch. There we go. I'm trying to make sure everything is correct in my mind. Yeah, they were captured from the Dutch. The Dutch allegedly, okay, took them and brought them back to Jamestown and tried to sell them, basically, okay? But this what the picture is depicting, and I want to show you this, okay? At the same time, let me pull it up. All right. Now, look at this one, okay? Now, what we see here is the guy, his hands on his back. There's the guy pointing at the, you know, the guy with the hat and everything. Now they have guns. They changed it. All of a sudden, now they have guns. They're weaponized. Okay. And now the slaves look like boys. No clothes on. Let's look at that one more time. Clothes on. The guy's over here, up on the other side, and they're up close. No weapons. You don't see no weapon. This guy is holding a cane. That's not a weapon. No weapons. All right. And then this picture, weapon, cane, and they have no clothes on. Okay. So what I want to do is point out the discrepancies here. All right. Now, this picture that you see here, this image that you see here, this is conceptualism. Based on my research, I discovered that this picture was created in 1754. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. All right. Now, as you can see, I traced this back to the Halton Archives. This is one of the largest archives for a collection of depictions or arts. The Halton Archive is owned by Getty Images. They're selling this image for $500. And according to them, I hope you can see this, it says the date was created January 2nd, 1754. January 2nd, 1754. What's interesting to note here is that they're not giving you the illustrator, okay, but they do have a date, which means maybe they could be, the person could be unknown, but I doubt that very seriously. If you know of a specific date, you know who the illustrator is, but that's besides the point. I just want you to note that this image in 1754 is displaying that the people that were captured had clothes on. There was no threat. On top of that, you don't see any weapon on anybody in this picture. None whatsoever. Okay, this is how you know that things have been changed over time. Now, let me get to the other one. Give me 1 second.
It's go time, Slim.
All right. Now, this is the next one. This is the image where you see the guy is on this side now with his hands behind his back. Now, I pulled this up on CBS. This is CBS's website. This is one
PBS.
of the, when I tried to trace this image back, this is one of the oldest so far of this being utilized on the internet. Okay, now I'm also going to check other things, but they're giving the credit to this particular depiction to Howard Powell. They're stating that Howard Powell illustrated many historical and adventure stories from periodicals, including Harper's Weekly. Now they're stating that this was in a magazine. In 1917, listen to that, in 1917, he created this depiction of the 1619 arrival of Virginia's first blacks. Now, if you guys are familiar with my work in previous years, I went over the multiple discrepancies dealing with the Jamestown settlement. Originally, it was known as James City, and I did a lot of traveling there, going back and forth, documenting things before it was changed. I highly recommend that you go check those out. But that's interesting. So with that being said, let me switch back to the other picture. With all of that being said, now we know that this particular image was changed in order to make it look, hold on, let me go back and pull this one up, to make it seem as if the story was a more threatening story. This is fear-mongering. They're trying to add on to it. Yep. This is how you could tell things have been changed along with the story, but they had to have the pictures in order to match it. The transatlantic slave trade story did not happen the way that we were told. We were constantly allowing these strangers to give us depictions in order for us to use our imagination in order to promote things like this, which is complete fear-mongering, to make it seem as if these white folks was too strong enough and these so-called black people was so weak enough that they couldn't fight back. It's honestly mind-boggling to see something like this being done, and especially during that time period. But if you think about it, when this image was created in 1917, that's the same time period that the industrialized system of compulsory education was implemented by the likes of the president of that time, Woodrow Wilson. Okay, so I want you guys to know this. This is just, you know, a sidebar of some things that you could notice, that how imagery was changed in order to make it seem as if it's one thing when it's actually another. Once again, let's go over this. This is the exact image that Harper guy, I forgot his name already, was trying to copy in order to enhance their ideologies, in order to enhance their thoughts, in order to enhance their beliefs, in order to amplify a form of fear-mongering, to make it seem as if slavery existed the way that we were told. Now, I've been saying out of all of my years being on YouTube that no, slavery did not happen the way that we were told. Slavery was strictly about employment. And I'll say that for a little time. I already put this out actually, but I'll talk about it at a different time because that's not what this video is about. But yeah, if you want to have a discussion about that, we can. If you would like to know the information that I already presented on this particular topic, go back. I highly recommend that you watch this video, or documentary rather, full-fledged documentary called Who Should Be Held Responsible for Slavery. That's one of them that I can recall right off of hand, but and that was at 1 million views. That one is gone. I have it though. So somebody could get in the comments and tell you about other documentaries or videos that I have posted on this particular topic to inform you by records and strong evidence, publicly verifiable, by the way, that yes, slavery was all about employment, and it still exists today, to this very day. That was big business for a reason. It had nothing to do with skin complexion. It's a reason why the 1790 census named those incoming foreigners free whites. And I talked about that as well. That's already out on my channel. Okay, if you would like for me to go over it again, I don't have no problem with doing that. Just, leave your comments down below and tell me what you think. I just wanted to point out these discrepancies, guys. It's always going to be like that.
There's one more thing I wanted to show.
Purposely done. This is how they want America.
Matter of fact, let me. I want to skip up to this part right here.
This is an archived United Nations web page. Okay. Now, this was dated. It was called the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery in the Transatlantic Slave Trade, March 25th, 2011. Now, you can tell this was archived because this particular image isn't there. In fact, here, I'll right click and open up another tab so you can understand that this is now the new UN website. But let's go back. Okay.
So this is an
archive. You know, Dane Calloway don't play that. I want to scroll all the way down here to point something out. Okay. And I'll give more feedback on this at a later date. Okay. Because this was not on my list of things that I wanted to do, but I just wanted to point something out. But I'll make sure I'll add this to the list and add more to this. I just want to show you guys that there was a conference that was done on, where's that date? Oh, on Wednesday, March 23rd, a global conference. Okay, listen to this, video conference for educators. Can you see this? And by the way, if you wanted to go see this video conference, if I go here and click it in new tab, this is what happens. It's not there anymore. Okay, but I know how to get it and I'm not going to show that right here. But anyway, so a new video conference happened for educators. It says new approaches to teaching African history and the transatlantic slave trade. All right. And I wanted to point something out. It says the conference was designed to update educators on new scholarship, new resources, and best practices. Listen to this, guys, in teaching the history and legacy of the transatlantic.
In order to continue to lie, you got to give them another lie and another lie and another lie and update that lie with more lies. That's what they do.
Slave trade. This was all done by design. These particular people that you see right here got together in order to come up with these.
Now, Colombia, Portugal, the Gambia, Trinidad and Tobago, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Gambia is the only place in West Africa on this list. Gambia is the only one in West Africa. Has anybody heard of this area before? The Gambia. Has anybody ever heard of that before? That is the only place on this list that has that is in West Africa. See, that's another thing. Hold on, let me switch screens real quick. No, not that screen. That screen. That is the only one. So out of all of this, in fact, I'm actually glad that I have this right now, because I'm gonna give you this video that's so you can see these particular people and what they go through. I have this already, but and what they go through as far as the information and how they gave them brand spanking new information about the transatlantic slave trade in 2011 and told everybody that this is what has to be taught in these particular areas in 6 countries. Okay. All right. 1-day global video conference for educators from more than 70 primary and secondary educational institutions in 6 countries. The conference was designed to update educators, so those that are teaching it, on new scholarship, new resources, and best practices in teaching the history and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade. If you haven't already, my wife and I already have a book out on this topic called It Was Told in Reverse. Once again, my wife and I have a book out on this topic called It Was Told in Reverse. We go into full detail about the true account
of the transatlantic slave trade story. In fact, let me do myself a favor here.
Through compulsory educational institutions, vulnerable children were taught as young students about the topic of U.S. history, a mandatory learning curriculum. These young students were forced to study and comprehend all information provided by their teachers concerning this topic, to pass multiple tests and possibly graduate toward the next grading level. Without strict supervision at home from their parents concerning what their children learned in school, these students eventually became adults that were indoctrinated with detailed information about U.S. history, which they now believe is the absolute truth without any doubts or room for questioning its accuracy or validity. This type of social engineering experiment systematically manipulated millions of Americans' mindsets into a one-directional belief system, to the point where the offspring of the indigenous Niji, who are misclassified today as African Americans or Black Americans, will believe that their direct ancestors were somehow captured by anonymous European Caucasian sailors from random parts of West Africa and then forcefully migrated to North America to work as slaves for foreigners from another continent. This folklore is commonly known today as the transatlantic slave trade story. However, essential details of this story did not happen the way that we were all told by strangers in school. Not only was this deceitful story drastically manipulated and even exaggerated by design, but it was also told to us in reverse. This book is made available to order June 30th, 2022. Order your copy today to learn more.
Okay. I'm gonna drop a bomb. I'm also gonna move on to another part of this same topic, because not only did they have to give you the images, which is conceptual arts, they had to give you the full spectrum of conceptualism, which is the entire story, lie after lie. But they leave loopholes in it purposely. And my wife and I inside of that book actually break all that stuff down and give you the sources. Okay? You had the bibliography in the back of that book. And the next one that's coming out is like, you'll see it. You'll see it. The next one is going to be correlating as well. Getting to the solutions. But I just want you all to know, as I'm trying to pull up this video here, that yeah, slavery didn't end the way that people think. It continued on. Now, Dane, what could we do about it? Well, number one, we got to make people aware, because so many people are unaware of it. Or they turn their nose up into thinking that it's actually still, continuing on right now. And that's holding our people up. Right now. It's holding our people up. Earl Wheeler, thank you for gifting 10 memberships like that, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. Earl Wheeler, I appreciate that. And brother Reggie, thank you for becoming a member. So I think this is very key in order for us to succeed as a group, as our communities progress in the future. We got to know what was done to us in the past, so we can correct it right now in order for us to have a better future. But it's all about the mentality. It's about I remember when y'all should remember this, when people were getting on Kanye West, when he was talking about it's a mental thing, slavery was a mental thing. And I agreed with them. There were certain things that he said incorrectly, and I corrected him during that live stream, but the majority of it was correct. The majority of it was correct, and people were turning their nose up at him as if he was against his own people, or you against what happened to us, and that's not what it's about. Like, they will say that I'm against it too. They will say that I'm against reparations, I'm against my own people, but they don't understand that that's what's going on. They don't understand what's going on and what happened. Yeah, he said slavery was a choice, because think about it. Think about it. It is, if you have control over your mindset. Whether if you got a choice, whether if you want other people to control your thoughts, or you take control of your own thoughts. There is a choice. There is a choice. For example, the stories that they gave us, as far as those, you know, little ships and they see us on it, did we have a choice to say, nah, F it, we gonna beat these people up that's trying to put us on this ship and knock them off the ship and we take over the ship? Didn't we have that choice? Did we have a choice to fight back? And because they saying that we came from West Africa. You think we didn't put up no fight? Like, that's another thing. How come they didn't tell you about the fight that happened in West Africa if that story was true? Because you know they're gonna put up a fight. You can't just randomly go to a place that you never visited and say, you know what, I'm about to capture these people, lock them up, and we gonna bring them over to such and such. Nowhere. No way. Nowhere near is that happening. No way is that happening. Not without a fight. Not without a fight. But you giving them so much power. This is the reason why the term white supremacy exists. And this is the reason why I told you it's an illusion. Because it's all about the choices you made. Stating that there is a such thing as a white supremacist or white supremacy. You putting them up too high by going along with their story, when they either equal with you or up under you. Technically, they up under you. This is the reason why they doing it to you, because they know you are the chosen people. They know that. Chokehold the chosen people so they won't ever come up for air. Because, and this is why they saying that they're inferior. Hold on. Okay. Look at how that was set up too. Oh, matter of fact, please tell me I got that video right here. Please tell me I got that video right here. Yes. Okay. Here's another video I want to play. Yes. Yes. This is a perfect example. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm so glad I got this. All right. So here's another one, right? I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play bits and pieces of this video. I did this about a year ago, maybe 2. I can't remember how long ago it was. But I want you to pay attention to how other people depicted us here in the Americas. And what I mean by other people were the French, and how also they depicted slavery. Technically, there was no difference between slavery in Africa, America, and Europe. For France is no different. Slavery is slavery. The problem is that the white folks, the pale faces, were enslaved. If you didn't agree with those dictators, you couldn't outdo them, because it was more than them, as far as dictatorship is concerned, already in control, than the people that were actually there, who were living in poverty. Keep in mind, they were living in poverty. If you're able to flip the script and say, you know what, since they are already punishing us by means of transportation, meaning sending us out to other countries, why don't we just go do what they did? Mark what they did by taking over another country mentally, using religion. Using religion, though. That's exactly what they did. That was the weapon. It wasn't chains and shackles. It wasn't swords or whatever you want to call it, guns. It was the Bible. It was using religion. So they took it upon themselves to do that here. Get good with certain people that's going to allow them to do it, that look like you and I, unfortunately, because that still happens today. In order to infiltrate our communities, they got to use our own people to do it. That still happens I'm talking about still to this day. But that's what they did back then. And then the infiltration occurred. Keep in mind, the children of that past that they taught that crap to had to be taught by somebody. Were they taught by white folks? Or were they taught by their own people? that only thought about themselves at that time sign that contract. When that contract was up, no more benefits, cut off. That's it. We finished with you. They got rid of them. That's exactly what happened. They used you and abused you, and then they lost you. They lost you. They got rid of you. They said, that's enough. We about to hire another nigga to do the same thing. Anytime I use the word nigga, you know I'm talking about an ignorant fool. And it don't matter their skin complexion. Y'all call them coons. Some of y'all will call them coons. Some of y'all will call them rats. Some of y'all will call them traitors. But technically, this is the reason why they let the word nigga go. Because they know what nigga mean. They let the word nigga go anywhere. Right now. I would not get demonetized for saying that. That's a problem. And that also shows you. That there's something behind that meaning. Or something behind that word, rather. And it's just like we calling each other black. It's the same way. We did not call each other black. That's a whole nother topic, but I'm just saying, when you regurgitating these words, these social constructs that they gave to us, you still got that slave mentality. I ain't gonna go into the words right now. I want to stick on that point with the slave mentality. How it went back then. And how it is right now. There's no difference. Really. It's just that the names were changed. That's how they get you. They just changed the names. Same tactics. I'm gonna play this video right here though. Only parts of it though. I don't think I should be playing the whole thing. Let me I'm trying to remember how it went. Hold up, let me see something myself.
Hope you all are doing well. Shout out to the free thinkers. To me. That I'm gonna play.
All right, hold on. Wait. Right. I want to skip right to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, who's got a pen? A pen? Here's one. Thank you, sir. Don't mention it. Here, sign here. Clearly and legibly. Full name on the dotted line. Johann Jerome Gutenberg. Sorry, who's got a pen? A pen? Here's one. Thank you, sir. Don't mention it. Here, sign here. Clearly and legibly. Full name on the dotted line. Johann Jerome Gutenberg.
They all involved.
Napoleon. Nero. Julius Caesar. Gabriel. Alexander the Great.
Listen to their names.
Name. Judas.
Hold on.
Julius Caesar.
Listen to their names, y'all. Please listen to their names.
Let's tell you something. I am a worker, and workers are not free.
Ho. And I'm sure I probably paused this myself. Hold on, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I did. Let me just peep, y'all, peep. Listen to what he said. Keep in mind, this is in an English overdub. This video was in French. But listen to what he's saying, because this is still ongoing right now.
The violation of your liberty, your freedom. If you speak of freedom, sir, I must tell you something. I am a worker, and workers are not free and never will be. If you speak of my condition.
Hold on. He said that he was a worker. Okay, and I want you guys to understand that. This is the reason why I've been telling you guys that slavery is not the way that a lot of people would portray it as. It's all about working. It's about employment. Again, he indicated that he costs more as far as his value is concerned
Right.
To work, of course, they're going to say slave master, but to work for his employer, okay, with him being valuable, meaning he's able-bodied, he's healthy, he hasn't been whipped, you know, chained and all this other stuff. And see how the interview was asking him, but what about the inhumane injustice? And he like, nah, I am a worker. You have to peep that. That's what's been happening.
They treating them well
in the Americas. Keep in mind, that's what this movie is focused on anyway. Slavery in America. Don't forget that. Okay, so yes, when I say that slavery is not the way that we were told, I'm referring to the fact that slavery, it was all about employment. I know it's people out there getting my words twisted, but no, if you hear me now, you heard what I just said. All right, so let me go back a tad bit.
And never will be. If you speak about, I am a worker. And workers are not free and never will be.
See? It's still going on right now.
I will quickly say, I don't pay taxes. I'm housed, fed, and clothed by my employer. I work a short week.
Okay, I stopped it. Look, yeah.
Listen.
Get him, Dane.
Listen.
Get him, Dane.
He is what? One more time.
Fed and clothed by my employer.
By his employer.
I will quickly say, I don't pay taxes.
You don't pay taxes.
Housed, fed, and clothed by my employer.
I work clothed by his employer, y'all. What I tell you? What I tell you? And once again, this is just a bit and piece of it. Just a smidge. This is a crumb. This is a crumb. And they teaching people in France this about antebellum America. Teaching them what happened here. And remember what I told y'all when I described the Vanderbilt's castles and how I know they didn't build them castles? As a matter of fact, they never came to visit. And remember when I gotta put this Hun, if you listen, and please remind me to show them that video that I took. And when I showed y'all the suites that our people were living in, y'all, I'm talking about you would love to be there right now. No cap. They look so good. I said, what? This is what you mean, slavery. I'm talking about they treated their slaves like royalty, and it wasn't even called slaves. They were their workers. So you had him in the beginning, right at the beginning of the conversation, he said that it was he had employers that was more humane than others. So you're gonna have those that's gonna show more hospitality than others. That's the only difference. Just like right now, your boss may be hard on you and soft on others. That's right now. All right, I'm hyped now. Once this over, I'm what?
A short week. My medical care is free. I get a Christmas bonus. And
his medical care is free. He get a Christmas bonus. Oh man, that don't sound like
retirement or permanent disability at the expense of my employer.
Listen, this is right now.
He is what? One more time.
Fed and clothed by my employer.
By his employer.
I will quickly say, I don't pay taxes.
You don't pay taxes.
Housed, fed and clothed by my employer. I work a short week. My medical care is free. I get a Christmas bonus and retirement or permanent disability at the expense of my employer. Without mentioning this, that in time of war, I am not even obligated to military service.
Oh, but if you're not even paid,
you know.
See? That's a big deal. And you guys have to understand this. That's employment. That sounds like something right now, like nowadays. A lot of you may think just because you know, privileged in certain cases that you're not still enslaved. You got another thing coming. He just described a lot of people's conditions that's going on right now, minus the paying taxes part. or not paying taxes rather. Ooh, man, I'm gonna drop a bomb right here. And this is just a movie talking about slavery in America. And, you know, a lot of you people are turning your nose up. And when I say you people, it's certain people, not all people, certain people turning their nose up to certain things that I've been mentioning, calling me outside of my name. They thinking this is new information when I'm telling you that it's old. This stuff has been out. You just wasn't paying attention. That's very important because it's still happening now. When I tell you that slavery wasn't abolished in 1863, 1865, it was just a transfer of ownership and went from person to person, meaning person to business, as far as ownership is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
The government
and went to the government.
That's right.
As far as ownership.
That's what concerned. I mean by that.
He didn't have to pay taxes. You paying taxes right now. To who?
That's the only difference.
Think about it.
That's the only difference.
The government. Period.
And that's why they did that.
Period.
So to go back to that, I'm glad I mentioned that, because to go back to my point that I made in a lot of my videos, the only reason why that Civil War took place was to implement taxes on employer and employees. That's it. So that was a labor dispute. My wife and I went over that. That was a labor dispute, big time. They didn't want to have to cough up extra money for no reason. This is the reason why certain benefits that he mentioned that he was getting back then prior to taxes ain't happening right now. Because some of them places paying taxes. And then they putting it back on you as the employee.
Hear me. Regardless if you like it or not, because I'm telling you the truth. I'm trying to get you guys to wake up. We got a lot of work to do. And I know some of y'all that's been on my channel for quite some time, tired of me repeating myself with just the basic things. And I've been wanting to go, I mean, let me calm down. I've been wanting to go so far with a lot of this information and put this out, but I know for a fact that there's so many newcomers coming in that they need to understand before I start jumping to the big stuff. And they really gonna, they're gonna be lost. And I'm not, listen, I'm trying to hurry up now with you guys, and I'm about to be putting out more stuff, books and movies and stuff like that to get you guys caught up. Because like I said, this is going to be the year where I'm turning it up times 10 with this information.
Sure did.
And that's not it. I'm not talking about just this part alone. We got more to go. So let's continue.
I see the ones which you gentlemen...
Let's go back a little bit. Hold on.
I am not even obligated to military service.
Oh, but if you're not even paid...
You know, I see the ones which you gentlemen call freed slaves or liberated workers. Out from morning till night, working like horses to make ends meet. And they never do. So, just tell me then, what's the difference between us slaves and liberated workers?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Who? Me?
Yes, you. You're a dishonor to your race.
Quit waving that camera around, will you?
All right, but with all the thousands of tormented slaves around in this country, we have to run into that puppet.
See what I'm saying?
Collaborate.
I know I can't play certain parts that was just played. I'm just going to skip up to this part right here because I believe the part that I'm referring to is getting ready to come up. And I want you guys to see this. But this particular scientist right here is going over the Darwinism, okay, of how they believe that the so-called black race is the inferior race. Okay, and this is the reason why they're all chained up, basically so they could conduct studies to try to figure out how they can make them become better workers. And on top of them trying to figure out where they came from, referring to the white people. Just know that he's referring to these people as Negroes and some of these people as Africans. Okay? There was a difference. Okay? He would say certain ones are Africanoid or something. Actually, let me go back. Hold on.
Now here is a perfect example of Cachexia africana, or dirt eating.
What do they do? Bite?
Oh, no.
See?
This is not a muzzle. No. It's simply to keep them from devouring every sort of refuse, including their own excrement and dirt. It's a form of unconscious suicide brought on by a lack of some substance of which we know nothing.
Now, hold on. I want you guys to know that in this particular section, he's telling this interviewer, let me say the interviewer, talking to the camera, the differences between Negroes and Africans. Then later on, he's going to get into something that I want you to see.
There you are, little bird. There you are. Oh, boy.
What are they doing here? They're Indians.
This is one of my many unsuccessful experiments. You see, with Indians, there's absolutely nothing to be done. There's the same difference between a Negro and an Indian as there is between a dog and a coyote.
Do I need to repeat that? Negroes and the Indians are the same thing. Look at her. She probably look like somebody's grandma out there right now.
You can put a dog on a leash, beat him, and he'll always be there to lick your feet. Take away a coyote's liberty and you've cut off his heir. An Indian will never be a slave. No one has ever been able to make them reproduce in captivity. They do not eat, they do not talk, they do not sleep, they do not make love.
So yeah, they were talking about slavery in America. And keep in mind, at that time, they were indicating that there was no difference between Negroes and Indians. Now, once again, I'm not using this as proof, but I'm just letting you guys know that this is also being shared all over the world, technically. Okay, so if it's the Italians, it's the French, it's the English, the Germans, there's no getting around it. It wasn't no mestizos, it wasn't no Europeans, none of that inside of our tribes. Period. It wasn't no Asiatic mestizos neither. That didn't happen. Okay? When you see these people, they look just like you and I. Look at that. Look at her. Look at her. Saying that they're Indian now. See? Then he said an Indian will never be a slave. He said that.
He'll be there to lick your feet. Take away a coyote's liberty and you've cut off his heir. An Indian will never be a slave. No one has ever been able to make them reproduce in captivity.
Not in captivity.
They do not talk, they do not sleep, they do not make love.
They're gonna stay quiet.
Okay. All right, I'm back now. All right, so and I think, I'm glad y'all, because even though that wasn't correlating with my topic that I was referring to at that time, it's good that y'all got to see that. The name of the movie is Goodbye, Uncle Tom. If y'all want to see that movie, hold on, let me go to the screen. If you want to see that movie in full, once again, there was certain things I couldn't play because they're exposing body parts on there. I couldn't play that on YouTube. But the movie is Goodbye, Uncle Tom. The English version, you got to do the English overdub unless you know how to speak French. But referring to antebellum America. So I just wanted to show you, and that was a few pieces. I do have another one. It's so many different things that I could display here where slavery never ended. Here's another one. In fact, I'm gonna keep going. I did this topic so many different ways, so many different times. Let me see if I can play this. I'm skimming through it on my side to make sure. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Let me start. Hold on, let me start after that intro. That's a nice little intro, but let me start after that. Let me start it right. Hold on, right here. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna use this one, but before I do that, any questions? No, I'm just kidding. So if there were, yeah, farewell Uncle Tom. Yeah, it was something about, yeah, I think it was goodbye Uncle Tom, right? I thought I was, yeah, I'm right. Goodbye Uncle Tom. It's, yeah, definitely Uncle Tom in it. Bye, farewell, something like that. It is one of those. But I'm looking at the chat right now. Now I apologize during that time period where I wasn't looking at the chat. If you all became members, I appreciate you, okay? Now I'm sure the notifications went up on screen. I might have missed them. Okay, I might have missed them because I was looking at the other screens. You lived in Canada for a few years. Now, see, in Canada, they went through similar situations. How can I explain that? They went through something similar as us because one side of us was the British, one side of us was the French. And same thing with Canada. Well, now it's one side is the British and one side is America. But technically it's still the same. British, America, France, America, Spanish, or Spain, America, all of them together. The Trinity, they called themselves the Divine Trinity. They're still together. Yeah, it was a horror movie. Believe it or not. They considered it a horror movie. But it had many, many messages in there. That was very good. That was very good. I highly recommend you watch it. I'm not sure. I wouldn't recommend that you watch it with your children, though. That's one thing I can say. I wouldn't. Nah, not with the kids. That's strictly for adults right there. It's like I said, they are going to be putting things on camera. You're going to be like, oh my God, hold up. I wasn't ready for that. They're going to put some things on camera that, you know, the children, you're going to have to, yeah, it's nudity. There we go. There's definitely some nudity in there. But this video right here, I mean, I did this portion so many different ways that I want to show another piece. And before I played this video, I had another one where I started going into the records. I think I dabbed into it right here a little bit, but I had to do so many of them to break this down multiple different ways for people to digest it. This was a good one, but this was back in, I believe this was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And so was the other one, if I'm not mistaken. I believe both of them were 2021. I could be wrong about that. But now you could get the uncut version. It's online without going to the National Archives. You could get that. You're able to access that movie. They got that movie out for free now. But keep in mind, yeah, originally was for France, but they had to do once they did the English overdub, then they came over here years later. Very graphic. I mean, I wouldn't consider it very graphic. I'm sick of those types of movies, but that's knowledgeable. It is a knowledgeable movie, but it was so many jewels that was dropped in there where people could get a better understanding. And once again, I only said that people should take it as a crumb, you know, look at it as a lesson, like along with other things that I've been teaching, dealing with, you know, slavery still happening and slavery continuing after 1865, 1863, whatever one they want to utilize. Hold up, what? Brother Coleman, what? Brother Coleman, man, oh my goodness, man. I'm dropping the bomb, Brother Derek Coleman. Oh man, Brother Coleman, you know I love you and your wife, and I appreciate that. Man, Shout out to Oklahoma, by the way. Oh, man. Come on, Brother Coleman. You see, I appreciate that, Brother Coleman. I appreciate that. And by the way, I can't wait to get this brother on the channel. Y'all, I think this is time. I've been saying that. I think this is time. I'm a little nervous at the same time because I know certain people gonna take it a certain way, but you know, just like how they doing this information, I had to spoon feed them. And Brother Coleman is no holds barred. You know, like if you ain't ready, you ain't gonna be ready. But he gonna force you to be ready. But I love that. I love that. I love that y'all showing the brother some love right there in the chat. I appreciate that. Brother Coleman, you know, I appreciate you. Since day one, I appreciate you. You and your wife. I love y'all. Thank you to both of y'all. Yeah, he Oklahoma. Oh, man. Thank y'all for showing him love in the chat too, y'all. That's major. Calaguga, 11 Oh, you know what? There was another movie. Wait, I think I played a bit of it in this video. Matter of fact, that's why I want to play this video, because I think I played some of it in here, if I'm not mistaken. And that's another one. I know some people don't like to hear that stuff because of how it affected them for real. Like it really did affect our ancestors because they saw that it was a limit. They thought it was a limit that they couldn't go past. And I'm trying to tell you, yes, it is. It's just a mental state. Yes, you don't have to be held down literally. You don't have to be held down mentally. You don't have to be held down spiritually by these foreigners. They not, I'm telling you, we are the chosen people for a reason, because they are afraid of us all waking up at one time because they don't know what we would do. Keep in mind, they would call us inferior. They don't know what we gonna do. They are afraid. They are afraid of the chosen people. They are afraid of us. Big time. Because they don't know what's gonna happen. I remember certain people were like, well, we the ancestors of Anunnaki. You mean the giants, the Anunnaki? Just think about that. Wait a minute, just think about that, because if we all wake up at one time, which is happening, we all waking up at one, I know it's a gradual process, but just think about that. And we have the power of our ancestors in front of us, behind us, and on the sides of us, and within our mental. And we got it spiritual, so we got a spiritual army, you know, ready to go. On top of, we know who we are. We know where we came from. We know we've been here before these foreigners' arrival. And it's look, I was just about to say, now some of y'all brothers out there that are familiar with the Hebrews, some of them Christian, y'all, some of y'all go put the stories together right there, line it up. Okay, just line it up. Just imagine all of that happening at one time. All our people get together. Knock them out the way now. It's either they gonna get down or lay down. No, ain't no army gonna stop us. No, that foreign army they not gonna have enough to stop us. It's gonna be more than moving furniture. We bringing houses and buildings down. I'm not over here promoting a war. I'm just letting y'all know that it's going. They know it's gonna be a problem here. That's why they don't like channels like mine to be out there right there reaching the people and trying to hype them up and get them up there. They don't want that. They don't want that because they know that you're gonna have to know, just know that we can handle anything that they bring to us because we are the chosen people. I'm talking about within a click of a finger, like Thanos and them, it's over with, okay? It's gone. They poof. They up out of there. They know their time is limited. They know their time is limited, and I can't wait. That's why I'm cheesing hard. I'm really smiling because I know what's happening. It's a beautiful thing. And I shed tears of joy every time I think about it because I know it's happening. Our people are waking up. And they seeing what's going on. It's just some of them have been trapped with that slave mentality, and we got to wake them up as much as we can. If it don't work, fine. It's going to work sooner or later for them. Okay, sooner or later. But once they see us up, the ones that know better. Let me give y'all a round of applause. The ones that know better, when they see us up, and we got more than just our bow and arrows up. We got more than just our feathers up. What they gonna do? All of us standing beside each other, lined up, ready to go. It's just gonna be more than just hugging each other's arm now. It's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be way more than that. We ain't gotta hold up no book. We're gonna be holding each other up at that point. And it's over with. This is the reason why they constantly spend billions of dollars to keep us down. They know we are the chosen people. This is the reason why they keep renaming us, misclassifying us, reclassifying us, because they know we are the chosen people. This is the reason why they took our history, our languages, our cultures away from us. And even the things that we create today, they don't want to give us the credit. Why? Because they know we are the chosen people. We are the chosen ones. We are. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They know the Creator, the Great Spirit, that blessed us. And this is the reason why they was trying to come over here, so they could fit in and try to get with us, because we were their help. Because if it wasn't for us, it would be no them. And they know it. If it wasn't for us, it would be no them. Top, bottom. We are the foundation. We are the creation. We are the elevation. We are the motivation. We are the acceleration. We're all of the above. And don't let nobody tell you any different. When they turn their nose up and you always saying you this and you that and da 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 da, and they don't see it right now, trust and believe, when the time come and they see it, I bet they be singing a different tune. Wasn't to be on our side. Wasn't to come over here and help us out. I can guarantee that. No. I never called you a nigga. I never did that. I had black friends. They gonna be coming out. Now, look, that's not just going to Caucasians. That's going to any foreigner. You kick out this foreign government, what's left? Us, the people, taking everything back over. If South Africa could do it, we could do it. It ain't hard. It's just a mentality thing. To go back to it. You get rid of that slave mentality, it's over with here. It's over with. They not gonna be able to catch up. All these little things that they coming up with right now, they throwing chaff in the air and putting things in our food and giving us the wrong education, the wrong history, and wanting us to pronunciate our words all great and look up to these white folks as if they are the greatest and that's it, just because they got money. But yet they crashing and burning with their own money, banks closing left and right. They want to switch it to a different currency. If we just say, that's enough, we had enough, what they gonna do then? And I don't want the people on my side that's gonna be like, well, I don't know, man. I mean, because we don't got an army. We do got an army. There's way more of us than them. We got the army right now. But they got guns and they got army trucks and I'm telling you, them brothers and sisters that's fighting in their army, fighting for these old little Caucasians that call themselves elite, ain't got nothing on us. You know why? All we gotta do is talk to the people, because they people just like us. This is the reason why they trying to hurry up and create robots, because they know better. We able to talk to them real quick. Hey, look, turn them tanks over. Look, I ain't gonna say. I'm just saying, you pointing in the wrong direction. You over there killing innocent people and their children for what cause? You talking about something you fought for the country. You fought for our people. We've been free, right? What we still fighting for? It ain't no fight no more. Now you bullying. Now you bullying. You been bullying. Now fight for the right cause. Fight for your own people. Do that. Do that. If you die, you die for a good cause. If you live to see another day for a good cause. You bringing your people up. You fighting a war that need to count. You fighting a war that needs to count. That will go down in history books. Your guy continue, and look, and then they barely paying you. I ain't gonna go too far. They barely take care of you. I ain't gonna go too far. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm just saying, we can take care of you. I'm sure it's some older remedies right now that could save your life that they've been trying to silence for the longest right now. Our ancestors been having remedies for years prior to any form of this pharmaceutical industry coming out with these little medications. How you think we survived? Did we have a pharmaceutical industry? Were we handing out pills to each other? We had a medicine man and a medicine woman of each tribe, and that kept us afloat. We were good. We could go right back to that right now. Right now. Get rid of all this crap that they feeding us in these groceries. Revamp the whole grocery store. Do it for real. Revamp everything. We can do it. It's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible. And they know it's possible because they know that we are the chosen people. Don't let them control you mentally. They even told you another limit. They told you the sky is the limit. Anytime you hear that term limit, you know that's somebody trying to suppress you. There is no limit. You could go as high as you want. Mentally, spiritually. You could go as high as you want. Don't let nobody limit you down to their level. They don't want you higher than them. You scared, ain't you? I'm going to keep bringing myself up. Twisting up the tongue and making us speak different languages so we can't understand each other, to help each other, to bring each other up. No, it's about this religion. No, forget your religion. It's about this religion. And that's the division. This beyond our brothers fighting each other and killing each other. It's beyond that. It's the religion that started it. It was a whole lot of monsters that came here that infiltrated our brothers and sisters. Remember, I told you they were sending their criminals and peasants over here by means of transportation. That was their punishment, to send the criminals over here. Criminals over here. So what a criminal gonna do? Think about that. Them criminals gonna become presidents, politicians, mayors, governors. Huh? Police officers. Huh? Or the heads of the police officers. Chief of this, chief of that. Then you got the supreme chief of the courts. What? Ain't nothing but criminals. You want to see the real mafia? There they go right there. There they go right there. Ain't there one of them spend a day in jail. But they ain't gonna get, I'm telling you, karma works in both ways. They thought they was getting away with it. But if they died, don't worry. Their offspring's gonna get it. Everybody gonna get it. You know why? Because our people are tired. Our people are tired of being dismissed, betrayed, lied to. I'm talking about all this stuff is building up and adding up, and they know it, y'all. They know it. Man, we can't keep stretching this lie out this long. I mean, they even got people like Dane Calloway on YouTube talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Being told to us in reverse. He giving too much information, y'all. We gotta suppress his channel. Just that alone, and you got to suppress my channel. Or is it just that alone? Or is it just send some agents to him that look like him? He'll shut up. Send some agents. I shot all 3 of them down with the sniper rifle.
Snipers!
50 caliber. They ain't coming back. Lower his views. Come on, lower his reach. Over 500,000 subscribers. Nobody getting their notifications. They got it. All I'm doing is providing information. Say he got a white wife. Try to discredit him. He got a white father. Deuce, they jockeying for position. Coming up with anything. But nah. I'm full-blooded. Full-blooded and a young Weir. The Great Wolf Clan of the Carolinas. I'm gonna be here because we gonna be here, and we gonna be here because we ain't going nowhere. You ain't about to force us to leave when we gonna force you to leave because you ain't been here. You wasn't with us shooting in the gym, and I didn't invite you to go sit in the stands and watch me. I want you gone. Our people want you gone. All you doing is causing turmoil amongst our community. Confusion, division, distraction. We don't need you. You're not benefiting us. You're doing things to benefit you. Time is based on one's perception. That means time ain't waiting on nobody. That's why I'm telling you that your time is limited. That's what's limited on you. Look how they tried to change the time. Gave us the Gregorian calendar. Added 2 months to the time and said, look, y'all, this the time we gonna follow by. All religious based, by the way. To extend their time. It's 2023. What if I told you it was 1923? What would y'all say? No, Dane is wrong. What? They didn't add 100 years. Oh, did they? Huh? How come time and dates are different in other countries and other continents? I mean, well, they got their own religion, Dane. Okay, so wait a minute. So what time are we basing ours on prior to these foreigners? Is this the reason why it was called Turtle Island? Because the turtle shell was a map? Is this the reason why it was called Turtle Island? Because the turtle shell was the map? Uh-oh. Hold on, wait. Hold on. No.
Set it on fire.
No.
Relax and take notes.
So you gonna tell me what my time is? But gonna tell me the sky's the limit. No, your time is limited. Gonna tell me I gotta change the way I look and cut my hair so I can't connect with nature, but I can connect to pages in a book. Cut my hair so I can't connect with nature, but connect with pages in a book. I gotta listen to somebody that's in front of me versus listening to my ancestors that's always around me, within me. How is that person more creditable than my own ancestors, even the ones that just recently passed? And I never met that person in my face a day in my life. A complete stranger. No, well, he's more creditable because he has the credentials. Given by who? Who gave it to him? No, thank you. I'm not going to put you higher than my own people. It just ain't happening. See, when they can't control you, they say you're a problem. They call you dangerous. Well, I'm going to stay dangerous. They call you radical. Let me be radical. Call me whatever you want, but you can't call me your slave. You can't lock me down and chain me up mentally. That's how I am. I'm sure that's how millions of our people are right now. Thousands that are watching right now, and thousands that's going to be watching later. YouTube, you better not suppress this message. We ain't closing out. We just getting started. Ain't no closing out. We ain't finished until we kick them niggas out of here.
I'm very thankful to see that many of you took a lot of what I stated in my last video and immediately began to research further along. Lots of you have hit my inbox in reference to what I shared about the differences between immigrants and immigrants, for example, and I am very...
Bahata Chief, I appreciate that, Bahata Chief. Thank you. Shout out the VA in the building. Huh? Where the power hatters at?
Very pleased with those of you who knows that a 3.5 second Google search is not real research, but would be considered that way by some.
Ooh, hold on. Darren Lacey, thank you for the 20 gifted. Wow. Darren, I appreciate that. That's major right there. And Jamie, thank you for the 5 gifted right there. Y'all showing love. I appreciate that. I stop when I'm doing when that happened, y'all. They deserve that.
If that individual is limited with expanding their leads and of course resource materials. So I'll share more information about it now. The 1828 Webster's English Dictionary states that the noun immigrant, spelled with the letter E, is, quote, one who removes his habitation or quits one country or region to settle in another.
Right.
While the noun immigrant, spelled with an I, is, quote, a person that removes into a country for the purpose of permanent residence. Now, subscribing to the standard definition of these words makes you conclude that they both mean the same. But most of you who are cognizant of the spells of the English language would know better. Some of you would notice that the definition of immigrate with the letter E would determine that it means exit. And the definition of the word immigrate, spelled with the letter I, would determine that it means to come into, due to both Latin origins of each word. But here's the problem with that. A country is not a continent, and a continent is not a country, state, nor region of a territory. You can recall that in the first video, I shared that the definition of the word immigrant, spelled with the letter E, means people who moves from one region of a country to live in another region of that same country, which derives from its etymology, to remove from one state to another state or territory. This is not hard. Region, be it the states of the country called North America. But isn't North America a continent? Or is it really? But that's for a different time. America is being considered as both by lots of people right now, taking the advice of strangers without...
See, are we doing this in our country? And they say, well, it's a continent. They're considering it both. That's what I mean by that. We built this country. See that?
Managing to actually look it up for themselves. Even the etymology of the word immigrate, spelled with the letter I, informs you that it means to, quote, pass into a place as a new inhabitant or resident. Listen closely. To move to a country where one is not a native for the purposes of settling permanently there. Now, does that sound peaceful to you all or something? It says for the purpose of settling permanently there as a resident and not a native of that landmass. This is why the word remove was used in Webster's definition, because there were wars going on here. And if you become a prisoner, then things get taken away from you.
Prisoner of
confiscated. Prisoner of war.
That's right.
You may have heard me mention this multiple times already, but I know some of you newly incoming viewers might not know it yet, and that's fine. This is the reason why I share even more detailed information when I feel as though you may haven't gotten around to researching it just yet. So with all things considered, the driving principles of the ADOS agenda reveals it as, yes, another distraction. A distraction from the actual proof of whether you are an American descendant or an African descendant of slavery, or neither. Slavery did not happen the way we were all told through our compulsory educational institutions. African descendant of slavery, or neither. Slavery did not happen the way we were all told through our compulsory educational institutions that derived directly from the Reconstruction era of the 1900s. There were political and commercial groups, businesses, and banks who were responsible for granting permission to anthropologists and the power of eugenics to create, cultivate, and influence the reconstructed history they gave to you. The narrative that you are accustomed to now.
All these people right here started it off. Melville Herskovich, Charles Darwin, Francis Galton, Walter Plecker, Franz Boas, and Henry Ford. This it right here. Hold up. It's freezing. Hold up. Rewind. It keep freezing. Look what YouTube do to me. Look what YouTube do to me. It's freezing. It's buffering. I'm right here. I'm right here. Can y'all hear me? We good to go? Y'all want me to go back, right? Video is buffering. Rewind it. It was freezing. They chopped and screwed it. Oh, Lord. Look. Why, YouTube? Why you doing that to me? I'm going to drop a ball. Those of you that are watching this after the live stream, you know what time it is. If you don't see the skip and everything like that, okay, it was skipping. Love Jones said it was skipping. DJ Divine Riser, what up? They chopping the video? Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go back there. You see what's going on, right? Are they playing commercials during the live stream? Are they doing that? I wonder if they were doing that this time. T-Tone, I appreciate that, sis. Thank you. Thank you for the donation, sis. Keith Bridges, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Hope we can continue on. OCO, oh, you got all 3 of the books. I like that. He got all 3 of the books as his avatar. That's hot. That's hot. I appreciate that, Keith. That's hot right there. OH, thank you for the donation. You've been a member for a long time with that one. I appreciate that. Hold up. Yeah, it's still skipping? It's still buffering? Right now? Look, all right, look, hold up. If y'all can hear me right now, flood the chat with turtles. Piss them off. Flood the chat with turtles. You know what they doing. They trying to get rid of the views. They trying to get rid of the people that was watching. So they gonna do something. So if you can, flood the chat with turtles. Is like, let's hit them for like 60 seconds with a whole bunch of turtles. That's what they doing. That's what they doing. They trying to get rid of every time. It never fails. Every time I hit like 25 or 3,500, they'll do something like that. They'll do something like that. All right. There go the turtles here.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I'm gonna back up. I'm glad I stopped right there. I'm gonna back up to about. Hold on, let me back up to about right here then. I'm gonna back up to about right there. Man, that's messed up, man. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a round of applause.
World life.
Look at them turtles in the chat. They blowing it up. Woo! They mad too. They mad. And we over here just laughing at them. We laughing at them. They go try. Look how they try to do it, man.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, sleep.
All right. Y'all blowing that thing up. I know that's making them mad. I know that's making them mad. All right, so I'm gonna come back till about right here. Hold on, let me I'm gonna hit play right here.
A distraction from the actual proof of whether you are an American descendant or an African descendant of slavery, or neither. Slavery did not happen the way we were all told throughout compulsory educational institutions that derived directly from the Reconstruction era of the 1900s. There were political and commercial groups, businesses, and banks who were responsible for granting permission to anthropologists and the power of eugenics to create, cultivate, and influence the reconstructed history they gave to you.
Now, what I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted was that these are the people that should be responsible or should be held responsible. Melville Herskovich, Charles Darwin, Francis Galton, Walter Plecker, Franz Boas, and Henry Ford. Woodrow Wilson need to be in here too. I meant to put Woodrow Wilson. And Carnegie. Carnegie need to be up here too. Choctaw Montana said they trying to stop progression. They don't want us to even allow us to gift or to add gifted members. I was only allowed 3 members. Wow. Wow. I'm glad you pointed that out. All of this is being recorded. We're going to bring it up to him. Burnell, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Jamie, hold on. Let me drop a bomb for Jamie. Looking out. Jamie Stockner, I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that love. Marvin, come on, Marvin. That's love right there, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for being generous right there. And I hope they didn't cut it off that time. You know, hopefully y'all got that. Jeremy Davis, thank you for becoming a member. And Jocelyn Webb, thank you for becoming a member. But that's crazy. So those that are trying to do the gifted, they probably blocking you. And that's not fair. But shout out to Montana, Choctaw Montana in the building. I appreciate that love, brother. And I appreciate the heads up. I appreciate all of y'all. And if you can, you know I never ask this, y'all. I very rarely ask for people to do this. If y'all can, if y'all could click the like button. If you haven't already. If you enjoy the stream, you enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? Click the like button. Share it if you can. Okay, share it if you can. That goes a long way. You know, that goes a long way. I'm probably gonna have to start asking for people to click the like button now because of that, because of how they combating, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's not gonna stop us. But yeah, definitely Woodrow Wilson should have been a part of this picture. I should have added Woodrow Wilson in here. But these are the people that should be held responsible, and I did separate videos on each of them, including Woodrow Wilson. Henry Ford, Charles Darwin, Francis Galton, Melville Herskovich, Walter Plecker, and Franz Boas. And once again, Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson definitely should have been in here. But that's, you know. Chase Callahan, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Carmen Strickland, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Rose up, dropping the bomb. Rose Jackson, shout out to the Jacksons. Over 40, over 40, over 40. I wonder what you meant by that. I want to know what you meant by that, but I appreciate that. Can you say it in the chat real quick for me? I'm not sure exactly what it was referring to. It could have been anything I was saying right there. Yeah, oh yeah, we got Jacksons in the building. I see you, Matrix Jackson. I see you. What up, R.L. Smith? We in here, T-Tone. What's going on at Net? How y'all doing? Noah Jean. I'm looking at the chat heavy right now. Thank you for becoming a member, Noah Jean. I appreciate that. Original. Look at them turtles. What's up, Glenn? DeMarco, what's going on? Diane, I see you. Levante in the building. What's going on? What's going on? What's up, y'all? Jacinda in the building. Ricky in the building. Natu in the building. Divine Lion in the building. Wanda in the building. Miss Kimberlite in the building. Niji Warrior in the building. I see y'all. Sunny D. Jermaine Lightfoot. Divine Rising. 43. That went by so quick. Aaron in the building. OG Truly. Shanika in the house. Bando. Diamond G. Shout out to y'all. Jason Hart. Hold up. Jessica. Sean. Beverly. Bobby. All right, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Sleepy Montana. Phillips. I couldn't see. Hold up. This now it's moving quick. Wait a minute, slow. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. I can't see. I can't see. Hold on. Okay, Tracy Robinson. Blue Dreamer. All right, there go another Jackson. I saw that. I couldn't see who the first name was. I'm trying to hurt Amber. Hold up. Okay, it slowed down. Okay, low. Hold on. I love all of y'all. Okay, I love all of y'all. That thing, y'all see the chat. Y'all can't blame me. Y'all see the chat. Hold on. I was trying to say. Rap sessions. I see rap sessions. Barbecue. Okay, Goddess. I can't. Every time I see somebody's first name, I can't see the rest immediately. Man, y'all, hey, I love y'all. I love y'all. I really do. That thing. Hold on. Matter of fact, I could put it in slow. Can I put it in slow mode right now? How do I put it in slow mode? Community moderation. I don't even know how to do it from right here. I wish there was a way that I could tap a button and it go right into slow mode. But that thing, all right. Okay, Chosen One. Okay, good. It slowed down. Now I can see it. Okay, Fishburne. Okay. Okay. King Third in the building. I saw King Third. Larry in the building. Y'all deserve this. Andre in the building. Courageously Beautiful in the building. Logan. Talking about something. I don't show love. Oh, Dane show love. I don't know what them other people be doing. Mohawk I Am in the building. Flip Mode in the building. Sunny D in the building. Hey, remember Sunny D? The drink? I haven't seen that in years. John in the building. What's up, John? Kevin Bailey in the building. David in the building. Jacqueline in the building. Chief Hawk Eyes in the building. I think that's apartment. I couldn't see that one. And James Lattimore, I believe I said that. Jess F. Every time it slowed down a tad bit, it keep going right back up. Y'all should see this. Matter of fact, look. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? Look at this. Look. Now, as soon as I do that, it slowed down. I want you think I'm playing? Look. Look. So when I try to say a name, okay, roll a hammer, see how it slow down? Janice Jackson, look, and then look, see? I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Y'all getting shout outs right here. Right here.
It's up.
It's go time, Slim.
I love y'all though. Come on, I'm gonna continue from right here.
Mission to anthropologists and the power of eugenics to create, cultivate, and influence the reconstructed history they gave to you. The narrative that you are accustomed to now stems from employees of those who wrote the manuscripts you draw from. Slavery used in its proper context is simply labor, servitude. This is why most people would commonly believe today that slavery was abolished in 1865, when it was merely upgraded and transitioned from a bondage standpoint to an industrialized version that runs parallel along the lines of capitalism. In other words, they gave you forced schooling in order to indoctrinate you with whatever it is they want you to know, in order to make you think slavery was one way, when in reality, slavery is still ongoing the exact same today as if it was in the past.
Then I think I'm gonna break it down right here. Shout out to Emerald City. I appreciate you for becoming a member. And Ricky Cherry, just think when Niji decided to retaliate. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Ricky Cherry. And Vernon Jones, thank you for becoming a member. Sharon W, I'ma drop it. Whoop! I see you, Miss Sharon. I appreciate that, Miss Sharon. Thank you for looking out. Tina Williams, thank you for becoming a member. Janice Jackson, I appreciate that. Look, another Jackson. Jackson's in the house pretty deep. ML Keith, thank you for upgrading the membership. I appreciate that. And Tina Spady, I appreciate that, Miss Tina. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to all of y'all. Why is not? Come on now. Okay.
Employment.
Okay.
Way.
Hold up.
When in reality, slavery is still ongoing the exact same today as if it was in the past. Employment.
Yep.
There were no chains and shackles then, and there are no chains and shackles now. At least not visibly, because some of you failed to realize that the chains and shackles were placed upon your mindsets. What is the Emancipation Proclamation? Many of my viewers will recall it as the time when President Abraham Lincoln freed all of the slaves of North America. Multiple history professors and scholars would agree with you. Even some websites would state that the Emancipation Proclamation, or Proclamation 95, changed the federal legal status of more than 3.5 million enslaved African Americans.
And this is unfortunate. People believe that they weren't slaves because of this. Okay.
In the designated areas of the South, from slave to free. However, when you actually read an original copy of Proclamation 95, you will not find any legislation throughout the context of the document where it clearly states that it was created in order to free blacks, coloreds, or African Americans from slavery. Proclamation 95 was a call to end existing public upheavals and riots that were taking place during that time period over a labor dispute. Complaints were arising from the laborers who worked long periods of hours for little to nothing nowadays, or for being promised something for their labor, but the other party didn't hold up to their end of the bargain, gradually transforming the laborers into prisoners of war, realizing that they were being used in order to create and establish the 13 colonies. In fact, the funds which were needed in order to maintain and regulate the 13 colonies were not being generated. So So this forced 11 of the southern states to back out of a bad business deal, succeeding themselves from the Union. Then,
did we see? Hold up. Come
11
up a little bit.
of the
Where's California? Talking about some reparations. Where they at? Original 13 colonies. Where they at? It was always about the East Coast. Always. And the South. I'm just saying.
Southern states to back out of a bad business deal, succeeding themselves from the Union. Then a new union was created, called the Confederate States of America. However, in order to keep the membership of these confederacies, they imposed limitations upon the resigning party's rights, just like any union would today. This was all done through a proclamation to blockade southern states from trading along the waterways. And by doing this, the United States government was able to stop commerce and shipments of products such as rice, corn, grain, and tobacco, just to name a few, from leaving the southern regions of the United States. When I mentioned a bad business deal earlier, this is what I was referring to. And so now you know what the Civil War was truly about. It was a civil dispute amongst employees that were tired of being treated unfairly within their place of employment. It was all about civil rights, inequality in the workplace, fights over improper land grants, tariffs, and trade disputes among settlers and squatters. All gave way to a secession of Confederate states and a broken union. In its simplest form, this was merely a labor dispute.
Now, this was part of it. Remember, I told you that this was part of the reason. I also told you another part in another video that it was taxes. A lot of all that stuff was happening simultaneously. But this is the reason why they created their own union, technically, so they can help their own out, their own employers. This is what we need to get back to. Whole nother topic, but I'm gonna keep it moving.
At the Okeechobee labor camp, while families were preparing.
Okay, this is the video. Yeah, this is. I'm so glad this is happening. I'm sure some of y'all remember this. Okeechobee labor camp is what he called it. Notice how I say project number 2, project housing. See, housing authority, City of Belle Glade, Okeechobee Center, project number 2. They put you in the inner cities. They called it the projects. They put the Indians on reservations. You don't see the term reservation up here. But it was reserved for you. They adapted the term reservation later. Man. Don't tell me they trying to skip this part. Don't do it. No, they not. Are they doing it right here? We good? Yeah, Woodland Indians. East Woodland. Yeah, the cane fields. They knew where the money was at. Yep, this Central Florida. I'm just saying, a lot of the projects, when they look at how they did us, moving us into them inner cities, putting us in the project housing. Keep in mind, the housing authority was in charge of this. Urban renewal. This is where they put you at. Urban renewal. This is just one of them. You could look up the projects back then. See what they were originally called? Some of them are still called project right now. But what are they projecting? Ooh, hold on. This about to get deep. Yeah, let me go there real quick. Project housing. Let me go here. What are they projecting? Let's do this real quick. I'm looking in the chat. Let's do this real quick before we move forward. I got it. Y'all know I got to do this. I got to. I got to see it. Let me see y'all ready. What were they projecting right here? Keep in mind they was putting us in these so-called labor camps. Don't forget that that's what they were called. AKA concentration camps. AKA project housing. AKA urban removal. All of these names were used. All of them. Okay, putting us in poverty, oppression, lower standards, experimenting. So were they projecting poverty? Ghettos, that's another one. Yep, ghettos. I'm glad you said that. I almost forgot. Ghettos. They were projecting genocide. There you go. Genocide. That's right. Forcing them to be controlled, getting paid little to nothing. Slavery. It was still, this was after 1865, by the way. Still happening. Yep. Experiments, extermination. Yes. Yes. In the inner cities. Gentrification. That's a good one. But that gentrification came simultaneously. Allowing them foreigners, I'm going to just use that terminology, to lay their head where we used to stay at prior to them pushing us into these projects. I'm just saying. Yep, another form of eugenics. All of them correlate. Right now. Similar to Nazi camps, I agree. Human trafficking. In the flesh. In the flesh. These type of things don't get brought up when it comes to these reparation arguments. They just bring up the things that they can see on the surface. Let me shout out a couple of people. Brother Kenneth Jefferson and Sister Eleanor Smith. I was just informed that you all donated through Cash App. I appreciate that. Thank you all for being generous. Yeah, working at warehouses, that was one, but it was a whole bunch of things that they were doing in these projects. And then, yes, similar to plantations, very similar, very, I mean, identical to plantations. Housing authority. Let's say it right there at the top. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, brother. Apartment 217, shout out to you, brother. I was trying to shout you out earlier when the chat was going crazy. Yes, this is all about control. Yep, human experiments. Concentration, that's right, labor concentration camps. So they were projecting. Keeping us, see, the slave mentality has to be eliminated from our people. Has to be. We won't ever see that there is no limit unless we for us to go up higher, unless we eliminate the slave mentality. So if they working you, that goes back to what that gentleman was talking about within that movie, the Uncle Tom movie I showed y'all, Goodbye Uncle Tom. It goes back. There was a difference between slaves and liberal workers or liberated workers. One was treated fair, one wasn't. But everybody technically was employees. And what he meant by treated fair was the fact that these people that you about to see right here were working long hours and getting paid little to nothing. And that's what he was referring to. And here you go. This is right here. This is a prime example. I'm going to come back a tad bit. Wait, that's too much. I'm going to come up right as soon as that thing played. Right there, Ian, right there.
At the Okeechobee labor camp, while families were preparing to move north, there was still some work in the bean field.
At the Okeechobee labor camp, while families were preparing to move north. I wonder why. I wonder why. Why you gotta leave Florida? I wonder why. Let that sink in. Y'all, this is the 1900s, y'all.
Children, as usual, were left to fend for themselves.
Jerome, how old are you?
9.
9? Do you go to school?
Yes.
Where do you go to school, Jerome?
I did it over Okeechobee Elementary School.
I see. What is your sister's name?
Lois.
That's Lois.
Sound like an Indian school to me. I'm gonna keep going.
And what are your other sisters' names?
Catherine and Beulah.
Catherine and Beulah.
Oh, look at her.
What happened to your foot, Jerome?
Dig a nail in out there by the wash house.
So you drove a nail in out by the wash house. What did your mother do for that?
She put some alcohol on it.
Where do you sleep, Jerome?
In this bed.
You have this big bed?
Yes.
What happened? How did you get that hole in that bed there, Jerome?
The rats.
The what?
Rats.
Now, Jerome, you are taking care of Kathy, of Beulah, and Lois.
Yes.
Now, are you going to give them lunch today?
Yes.
What are you going to feed them?
I don't know.
Do you have any food here to give them?
Yes.
What time does your mother come home?
I don't know.
The following day, Aline King, the mother of Jerome, Kathy, Lois, and Beulah, again was picking beans.
Aileen King, I saw your children yesterday at the Okeechobee camp. Why didn't you put them in the nursery?
I don't make enough to pay for it.
How much does it cost to put them in?
85 cents.
85 cents.
That's right.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time will you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.
Is that because the beans were...
Listen, this part right here. Hold on. First of all, she was only getting paid $1 from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. I think I said that correctly. But listen to how CBS edited the original question out to continue their propaganda right here. I know this because I pulled up the audio of this video into my audio editing. What is it called? Adobe. I pulled it up in Adobe Audition, and I noticed it was clippings in there. And I was like, oh, they added this part in there. So I wanted you to hear what they added in and try to force it like she was answering these particular questions that they put in there when she wasn't.
85 cents.
85 cents.
That's right.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time will you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
See, that was edited in. He said, is it because the beans were poor quality? Trying to add in excuses as to the reason why she only getting paid $1. That's what they did. It sounded like he was in a totally different area recording that. And I know that for a fact that he recorded that in a totally different area. Hold up. My wife. Okay, hold up. Let me shout out Sherry Wright and Yareen. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly for donating on Cash App. I appreciate that. But I'm gonna play that part one more time, y'all. I felt as though that was very important at them trying to add in an excuse as to the reason why she was only getting paid $1. if you notice, it's gonna be a dip down in the audio, and it's gonna sound like he's in a they're gonna add in a little fuzzy sound to try to make it seem like he's still outside, but that's not true because he was further up on the mic. He wasn't further away from the mic. He didn't move. She's even in the same position.
You earn
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
And she immediately answered, "That's right." Does this happen before? That's right. Nah, you could tell that was edited. And then
How much will your food cost you today?
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
He said, how much would your food cost today? She said about $2. Keep in mind, she only getting paid $1.
$1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
How much will your food cost you today?
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
How many children do you have?
14.
How old were you when you first started working in the fields?
Hold up. What about your husband? You just go, okay, you go ask her age, how many children she got. There's a reason why they not going to ask her about her husband. Oh, okay. I thought y'all was saying my audio went out. Yeah, brother Coleman, right. Where is her husband? They never asked about her husband. It's a reason why. This was all a part of separating the families. 14 children. 14 is what she said. No. She said 14. Listen.
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
How many children do you have?
14.
14.
How old were you when you first started working in the fields?
8.
How old were you when you first started working in the field? She said 8. Listen, y'all.
You've been working 21 years in the field?
That's right.
21 years in the field. Where is her husband? Just like, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick before we move forward. Right? I'm not exactly sure if that's still ongoing right now. But say, for example, if a woman and her children try to get hold on, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. If a woman and her children are trying to get welfare, the husband can't be there. I'm not sure if that has changed. I know the state would try to go after child support on the father or something like that. But if she try to go for particular benefits, they gonna get him by way of child support. Am I saying that right, y'all? Y'all saying right? Okay, it's food stamps. Okay, yeah, that's still true. Okay, it hasn't changed. Okay, this is what's right. Okay, so this is still going. This was happening right now, and it's still going on. You said that earlier. I missed that. I apologize. I missed that. But this is it's still ongoing. It did not change. Yeah, food stamps, TANF, nothing different. They purposely separating the family right here. Now that was done on purpose, and still made her work, and still made him work. Now, I bet they're not going to ask her when the last time he's seen his children. It wasn't the fact that he wasn't trying to support his children. And it wasn't even the fact that they had that many children. It's what was going on in the area and where she lived in. Forcefully pushing people out. That's called urban renewal. Well, first it was urban removal. Then they put you in these concentration camps. Then they mushed you into inner cities wherever they wanted to place you. Keep in mind, in the beginning of this video, they saying that they're getting ready to go up north. What? North Florida? Are you talking about somewhere in New Jersey, New York? What you talking about? Maine? What you talking about? Either way, it's going to be by the housing authority. Knew that we were stronger together, so they had to change. And look, but yeah, 14 kids by 29. But if they were together, they will be able to afford it. So what are they projecting here? Going back to that project word. They were projecting the separation of families. The government become the head of household. Look. Is this being brought up in the reparations talk? This shit right here, and we know that this is happening because it's still happening right now. Separation of the family. Government becoming the head of household here. They know we the chosen people. They know for a fact that the man or woman who are needy, strong together, strong, and weak when they separated. Problem after problem, turmoil after turmoil. They know what they doing. Remember how they said that they were separating families as they were getting off the boat? Wait a minute now. Slavery was over with, and they still separating families at this time. Look at how deep it got. Look at how deep it get. If the man of the household don't agree with what's going on within that community, you know what they're going to do to him, right? They're going to throw him in jail. And they still going to make him work. Either way you put it, they still want slavery to happen. This is what we got to change. They took your spirituality away so you won't know that you are a warrior within spirit. They know you the chosen people. They got to give you religion. They got to stop you from uplifting yourself. Look how deep this get, y'all.
Aileen, do you ever think you'll be able to get out of this kind of work?
No.
Does she think that she will ever be able to get out of this line of work? And she said no. Look, it's no pun to her. I'm not knocking her. But listen, y'all, that's a slave mentality. That's all mental based. Because it's based off of what they see in their environment, what they're conditioned to, be used to. Keep in mind, she 8 years old in the field. She think that's how it's supposed to go all her life. This is what we got to change. And we talking about 1940s, 1950s right there. That we ain't too far away from that, are we? And tell me the date that slavery stopped. I'll wait.
War was a labor dispute that was inevitably tied to American Indian lands. And for this reason, a scheme was devised where the people on the bottom will be able to create a flip-flop that resulted in their eventual rise to the top. More about this in my documentary series called African Americans Are a Big Threat to American Society.
I want to point out that see how that video was almost at 1 million views? I just want to point this out. This ain't no bragging. But tell me if you can find that video on my channel right now. Almost at 1 million. That's all I got. You know what the is going on, y'all. Y'all know what's going on. I'm going to calm down. Y'all know what's going on. Almost at 1 million. Y'all know what they doing on my channel. Don't let these messages go to waste. Keep sharing them. Keep liking the video. Don't let them, don't let them stop this. Don't let them stop. Nothing. That video gone. Basically a million view gone. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing it. Our people need to hear it, man.
But I stated that to say this. Our people were always home, even when the Industrial Revolution began. Our ancestors were the ones prospering. We owned the lands, lakes, rivers, businesses, and the banks. And most importantly, we were well
That's our grocery store.
aware of how and where to get the resources needed to sustain the continued growth of our success and the success of Turtle Island, aka North America. So, how does an immigrant remove an indigenous person and replace themselves as a permanent resident?
Do you realize that there was an agreement made between our people way before the people without color got here? The black people agreed that they would sacrifice and do the slavery thing for us, or we would have been completely wiped out. We owe them such a debt. Don't be caught up in American racism. They don't want us to unite and be together because they're afraid of that we'll treat them the way they treated us. We're human beings. We could never be that thoughtless, and we don't have to worry about that because from the way things look, they're going to self-destruct. A lot of them are spinning out of control. We're not even going to have to do anything. We might have to put a few of them out of their misery, but...
According to a well-known anthropologist by the name of Margaret Mead, you don't come into a place with an attitude of entitlement, because people generally enjoy when you learn their language and their culture. As long as you come into a place ready to learn and join their society, it's okay. It's very flattering for all people when someone wants to be taught. And also, Margaret Mead stated, quote, "You have to do something pretty terrible to people before they come to regard you as a spy, rather than an interested explorer." And that is exactly what they did when they adopted our ancestors' constitutions and created confederacies that reflected our ancestors' form of government. The Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union was a set of laws which was used to form the first U.S. government in the year 1777. This was based on the information learned by the foreigners and through Indian relations. Each Indian tribe had its own confederacy and its own constitution, and they had a commander, which was the chief.
Right.
This form of government allowed for the individual sovereignty of each tribe to take place and not to be imposed upon. It also allowed for trade relations outside of the tribe to take place amongst those who are the heads or chiefs of the tribe or clan. And this is the idea that the 13 colonies took for themselves. They created the Articles of Confederation, not as colonies, but as confederacies. There was a confederacy for each state, and this is why there is also a constitution for each state. Woo! This is also why when they separated from the Union that they called themselves the Confederate States of America. The colonies of the United States created a confederacy and a union which had the duty to, quote, "enter into a firm league of friendship with each other for their common defense, the security of their liberties, and their mutual and general welfare, binding themselves to assist each other against all force offered to or attacks made upon them or any of them on account of religion, sovereignty, trade, or any other pretense whatsoever." And they used a formal setting known as Congress to resolve their disputes. Congress is defined as a formal assembly of 2 or more representatives, ambassadors, or nations that comes together to discuss problems. Sound familiar? The House of Representatives, Congress, a commander-in-chief. And because these foreign confederacies were so few in numbers alongside the large amount of Indian confederacies, they decided to form a union, which is short for trade union or labor union, that ensures they would always be together for a common purpose.
Hold on, some of y'all may need that book. I see back then I didn't I should have took down the opacity of my logo, but I know y'all needed that book. Trade Union Law and Cases, a textbook relating to trade unions and to labor. Cohen Herman, 1860, 1932. These are the books that I have. When I grab books, I try to show y'all where I'm getting certain things from out of books if I do utilize books. I put the book and author up. Okay, but just in case, you know, see how this ain't an interesting topic for you to go grab that book? I be in stuff like this. Trade Union Law Cases, a textbook related to trade unions and to labor. Cohen-Herman, 1860-1932.
That ensures they would always be together for a common purpose. In most cases, the American Indian clan.
Oh, this is good. The year 1860, a comparison. Look at the North and look at the South. The North had very little and the South had everything. And this is the reason why, I'm going to just simplify it. This is the reason why you know for a fact that the Army didn't go with the North. The Army went with the South. The South had everything they needed. So you tell me who won the Civil War when the Army went with the Confederates. They didn't have no need to go with no goddamn North. Just think about that. If the South had everything, why are they fighting for the North? Look, I'm just saying. This is year 1860, a comparison to what they had. Something not adding up. Somebody created their own union and didn't want to be attached to that other union for a reason. And I'm telling you one reason. I told you another reason was taxes. And my wife and I about to come out with another reason. Actually, we working on that as we speak. That's no cap. We working on that as we speak. But I'm showing you, the Confederates were in control. The North ain't had nothing on us. Nothing. This is why you know they ain't have no stronghold in the West. How? When you ain't had no stronghold in the North. The Midwest and the West, they lying. They told you that the North won. How? When the Army went with the South. The Confederate Army. Somebody lying. You couldn't even talk the Army into going to the North when you ain't have enough of nothing. You begging for people to migrate to the North just so you could stay afloat. I'm telling you right now, the majority of the people in the chat, ask your ancestors that fought. Ask your elders that are familiar with your ancestors that fought in the Civil War. Ask them if they fought. What side were they fighting on? Ask them. The Union eventually had an army, but did they outnumber the South? 13 colonies. The majority of the colonies were of the South. The majority of the land was in the South. The majority of the territory was in the South. Uh-oh. That's not making sense. That's not making sense. Bigger than places up north. Larger than places up north. And are you talking about more the foreigners that you bringing in? Were larger than the foreigners that went down south where they knew where to make the money at? Something ain't right. Then they're going to lie and tell us that that flag had something to do with the KKK. And not our own ancestors. Now they got our people turning their nose up to the Confederate flag, knowing that the majority of our people were fighting for that flag. And they ain't have nothing to do with the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan's flag was the American flag, the Star Spangled Banner, not the Confederate flag. The reason why you see them hillbillies running around with the Confederate flag is because some of their ancestors fought there, right along with yours. And notice how them hillbillies poor. They weren't rich. Some of them hillbillies was farmers. The majority of them, actually. Right along with your ancestors. Some of them got mad because the stories was twisted. They didn't know what to think. Keep in mind, they had to keep up the division. Because how come we were together during the Confederate Army? How come we were together during the Confederate Army? With segregation already there. Don't forget that too. Woo, don't forget that. Segregation was there. They were living in their areas. We were living in ours. And we got together and fought on the side of the South. Somebody is lying to you. This is the reason why they got to constantly put out books and movies. Yeah, that's right. I said hillbillies. You know who I'm talking about. Riding around in them old trucks. The either the front bumper gone or the back bumper gone. They got the mud tires. And they got something blasting. You know who I'm talking about. Hillbillies. Some of them shaved their head because they adopted. How can I explain this? It depends on who they are, though. It depends on who they are. Remember, we called some of them skinheads? Back then, the skinhead, hold on. How can I explain this? Some of the skinheads, well, the majority of the skinheads were up north. Let me say it that way. Down south, they had the rednecks. The rednecks was real deep. Remember redneck? You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot of them that was on our side back then. You not gonna believe that. I'm talking about, what do you need, Dane? I got you. Here you go, brother. Here's now use that pump shotgun right there. All you gotta do is shoot up one time and they're gonna knock that. They would help you. No bull. That's what was going on. Shout out to Chris Shaw. I appreciate that, Chris Shaw. And Mrs. Kimberlite. I appreciate that, sister. Thank you. And shout out to your husband as well. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's our flag. That Confederate flag is ours. And they know it. I'm talking about, it's multiple versions of the Confederate flag before the Confederacy was even started, as far as against the Union. Wait a minute, Dane, are you telling me that flag was adopted by them? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Was adopted by them. Darian Love, thank you for showing love. Pun intended. I appreciate that, Darian. Thank you. And brother Coleman gifted 5 right there. I appreciate that, brother. But that's our flag. They know it. They know it's our flag. So and they look how they try to turn their nose up to our own people that's rocking that flag, y'all. Look how they changed it. They turned the tables. Now, some of the people that don't know better, looking at people that look like you and I that's rocking the Confederate flag, they got you thinking, look how they did that mentality, that slave mentality, got you limited in your reach. They got you thinking that is a Nazi flag or KKK flag, or it is a rebel flag. It is a rebel flag, but it's not the way you think. It was the South rebelling, or the Confederates rebelling against the Union states. This whole time. Yes, that's another one that was told to us in reverse. That's another one. Yep, trading places. That's right. They Trump supporters. But look, the Trump supporters were supporting us. Let's be real. They wasn't turning their nose up. Not the ones I done seen. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but the ones I seen was not turning their nose up. Yeah, rebel. Those that rebelled, revolted. That's right. That said no. That straight up said no. Stood their ground. And everybody, it wasn't enough white folks over here in order for them to win that war. It was the majority, it was us, y'all. The majority of us that fought in that war outnumbered the white folks that fought in that war. Hands down. Or outnumbered the foreigners. Because it was all sorts of white folks. It was us. We were the majority in a lot of these wars. And especially that one. Look how them stories they try to tell you to make it seem like it was a bunch of white folks that was fighting each other. And okay, to go back to that movie that I played earlier in this live stream. Remember that guy with the glasses? He said that he didn't have to fight in no war. That means if you were already working, you didn't have to fight in the war. Yeah, Hollywood paints a different picture all the time. Yeah, the movie Glory. That's it. Well, see, Glory was also trying to show, yeah, I mean, they showed that we were a part of it, but they were also trying to show that they couldn't get stuff done without us. Like they couldn't advance without our people. But they also showed that it was a lot of white people in there as well. And that was inaccurate. And this is the reason why, because they know we're not going to look at the records. This is the reason why I keep telling my people to go check your family's records, because somebody in your family fought in that Civil War. And that's going to determine how many of us was in that war. I guarantee you, we always outnumbered them. Always. And that's not fair, because they thinking there was a majority white that was fighting in that war. Shoot, in all of those wars. And that was during the time of segregation. Already, segregation was already there. But I dare you to look up the records, your own family records, and find out what happened. Somebody could have been a lieutenant. Somebody could have been a general. I remember some of them gun companies were making specialized pistols with the person's name engraved in it, either on the back or on the side. That could be still around. You'll never know. So don't forget that they took our last names. We didn't take theirs, so you need to look into that. I would definitely look into that. It could be of high ranking. I mean, even if they weren't, it doesn't matter. They fought in that war. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to, say, oh, that person was more important. I'm just saying that there's more evidence that would exist if they have, a higher ranking. You will have certain things, artifacts that you could take with you. Like my grandfather kept his grandfather's guns in the basement of my grandfather's house. I mean, to the point where he got them glassed up, had them named and numbered and everything with an engraving on them. So I was lucky that my family members was upkeeping, on certain artifacts that our family carried down. I'm talking about from shotguns to them old school pistols, long nose on them, Don't give me the line of what they were called back then. Because I don't know what they were called, but they did look good. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we talking about some real cowboys and Indian stuff back then and what they were using. The one-hitter quitters. But you'll never know. That could have been, 357. They were all revolvers. But I'm just saying, you'll never, musket, 6-shooter, all of them 6-shooters. But they all had, like, I'm just saying, they all had, and shout out to my uncle because he made sure that he grabbed all of them before they went away. They all had their own different companies that were making those guns. And some of your ancestors' names can be engraved in it. On the back and on the side. And I know that because that's what happened with my family. That's what happened with my family. Yeah, like Onion Weir Bill, Cherokee Bill. Colt 45s. Yeah, the Peacemakers. Yo, never know. 1911s. Now, they ain't have automatics. Not then. It wasn't automatic then. I mean, unless they was real quick with it and pulling that trigger back, their head trigger. That's how they were shooting back then. But you'll see it. You'll see it. I hope that happens when you get to pull that up, Mag Dog. You'll see him. That's right, Winchester. But it's some gun companies that I never heard of that created some of those guns back then. Yeah, Smith & Wesson. But that would be nice if you could pull that stuff up and check and see, because you'll never know. It could be your uncle, your great uncle, your great, but I mean, it could be a grandfather, it could be fathers. Anybody could have been in there with that. And I highly recommend it. And some of them may have opened up accounts, bank accounts. They could have went over with keep in mind, this was during the same time of the Freeman bank accounts are rising. That's another reason why. Them Freeman bank account records, you need to grab that and see if they open up a bank account. Because I think what I really want to do, y'all, I really want all of us to get together. I'm talking about those that have official records that your ancestors open up a account in the Freeman banks. Okay? I want all of us to get together and do something. I'm not going to put the plan out in the open, but I want us to get together to do something. Because, the headquarters is right beside the White House or the Freeman Banks. I want to do something. I want to make some noise, make a statement, get something changed when it comes to that. Because it was a lot of money that went into them banks. And Abraham Lincoln made sure that it was supposed to go to the descendants. But I need y'all to stop being lazy, because you need to find out if your ancestors was a part of it. Because they're gonna make up lies right now and say, oh, that money gone, it's over with, blah 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 blah. Well, you need to cough that up, because it didn't go to the family, did it? And where the paperwork at saying that it went somewhere else? Where the banks crashed. Well, you owe all the people money. Government, since you took it out. Look, I'm just saying. I just want y'all to, you talking about reparations, I just want y'all to look at those records to see exactly what happened. The majority of those people that came off of that war opened up some bank accounts. I can tell you that. The Freeman Bureau banks. And they connected hand in hand. And Abraham Lincoln set it up straight up, where it's not only going to them, it's going to the descendants. And some of these banks got to cough that up. I'm just letting y'all know. That's all I'm saying. But here I go. 3 hours and 23. I'm gonna drop a ball. I'm gonna give y'all a round of applause. Let me see. Yeah, nah. It was at the end anyway. So what I'm gonna do, we gonna go live again about what's today? What's today? Monday? We gonna no. What's today, y'all? Hold on. Today Monday, right? I'm gonna go live on today not. It don't feel like Monday. What's today, y'all? Today Sunday? Sunday. Yeah, today's Sunday. So I'll go live. Hold up. I want to say tomorrow. I'm trying to remember what we got to do tomorrow. We got to do something tomorrow. I'm gonna try to make it tomorrow. It's Monday. Today, nah, it's Sunday. See, look, me and you in the same spot. We won't be keeping up with these days. Not noon. When I go live, it's probably going to be about. If I go live tomorrow, it'll probably be about 5 or 6 p.m. Look, tell y'all what. Y'all want me to go live tomorrow or Tuesday? You said Tuesday or Wednesday? If I see Tuesday, then I'm gonna go Tuesday. If I see Monday, I'm gonna go Monday. If I see Wednesday, I'm gonna go Wednesday. Y'all want me to do it Tuesday? Okay, I see 2 tomorrow, Tuesday, tomorrow, Monday. Hold on, I'm looking right now. Monday, okay. A lot of Mondays. Okay, a lot of Tuesdays. I know, right? Every day. I wish, man. I might as well go both days though, because I do got a couple things I wanted to talk about that I didn't get a chance to talk about. It's on a correlating topic, but I have some things I wanted to show you. Tell you what, I'm going tomorrow. Tomorrow 6 p.m. Tuesday 6 p.m. Forget it. Wednesday 6 p.m. We gonna try. We gonna make it happen. We gonna try to make that happen. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If y'all don't see me at 6 p.m., hold up. You know what I'm saying? I may be like, what they say, what they say be, hold on, y'all, don't get me, hold on, what they say? Dang, what they say, y'all, black people time? Nah, I'm gonna try to make it on time for sure, okay? Monday, Tuesday, for sure. I'm gonna see y'all. Y'all been good. Yeah, CPT, that's what I was looking for, CPT, yeah. Because it was similar to EST and Pacific time and stuff like that. Yeah, CPT. Now, but Eastern time, if anything, it will be Eastern time. 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Mainly 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, y'all been good. I appreciate that. I love y'all. I love all the support. If y'all can share the video, like the video. I'm upset that I gotta say that now, but I'm gonna have to say it because they doing what they doing, but it's not gonna stop us. I appreciate y'all for being strong because I'm being strong too. We're gonna keep doing what we doing and making the correct changes, uplifting our people higher and higher and higher because they know we the chosen people. So just rub it in their face and keep moving, keep going up.
It's up. It's go time, Slim.
I'm gonna do this real quick before I go.
Hey, look, ain't no chucking, no jiving, no ducking, no hiding, no telling on people that's under assignment. Those are them people that fucked up our climate, changing up everything so you can't find it. Let's focus our people to focus our people, cause most of our people lose hope for our people. We choking the fan by revoking my people. We selling the fan, not promoting my people. You woke up today, it be different tomorrow. Stop or to follow with Lee Leonardo. Police killing innocent like a state motto. How much more time we gon' take this to sorrow? How many times we go marching for peace? We still got black people that die in the streets. From your brothers or racist police. The wars not us as them races elite. Brother wake up, sister wake up. This ain't nothing but shit they made up. Religion is here to manipulate minds. Only books slave masters gave us to read. Only books slave masters gave us to teach. Only books slave masters gave us to preach. Only books slave masters gave us some peace. What they have heaven here on earth. Wake up, pick your cape up, pick your face up. This is shake up, no time for makeup. Injustice is a white supremacy. You both affect the melanated people too much. I'ma keep raising my fist to the sky. I'ma keep raising my fist to the sky. This ain't for everybody, this is only for them conscious melanated people. I love you all. You all take care. Wide out. I'm just here to make you think.